Yo.
What's up, gang? Hope everyone's having a good day. Oh shit, I gotta fucking mute my shit. I did it again, just echo blasting myself. Welcome, Willing Panda. What happened? How did you get here? How did you find us? Also, welcome. And if you don't want to talk about it, totally cool. We appreciate you here, even if you just want to lurk. I like that you threw the Dorito out there. That is an acceptable first time chat. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Fucking Doritos all day, bro. I'm first in my own world always. Ain't that the truth, Omni? It was at the top of my browser when I hit Unreal Engine for a tag. Yes, dude. The numbers, it got us up there. Well, welcome. So we're Game Studio Willing Panda. We're early on in the stream today. We're just going live. So we usually only stream for about 2 hours. So we're not going to be your typical kind of live stream. So I'm Vince. This is Tony. We're co-founders of the game studio Fractal Grove. We've been doing this for a little bit. We found a format that seems to work for us. We only stream about 4 hours a week. I talk about the industry, game news. Tony's usually working on something in Unreal in the background. I interact with you guys and chat with you. Let's see. I've been a video game designer for about 15 years. I've worked on everything from mobile to AAA. The biggest game I worked on is Destiny 2. Here's a prop from a mission I made in Destiny. So yeah, I've done a bunch of stuff, a lot of other things you may not have heard of, but I worked on a couple mobile golf games. I worked for Top Golf. I worked on Return to Moria as a lead designer on that project. Yeah, a bunch of shit. So that's kind of our deal. And we do this so we're currently working on a couple of games, but the current focus is called Dread, a psychological horror walking simulator, that kind of a thing. So I completely fucked it up. It's a psychological horror liminal space walking sim. That's probably the best way to think about the experience. You've heard of most of these? Your childhood? Yeah. So no, that's cool. I'm glad that you've heard of these things. I'm an old man. I don't necessarily look it. I got a lot of gray in the beard, so you can tell when I'm closer. But yeah. So yeah, we started the game studio a few years ago, and we started live streaming. I think we're going on 3. We're about to be at 3 years. We only do 4 hours a week, and the whole goal is to like share knowledge and like demystify what it's like to be a game developer and just be real people, share our knowledge, help people learn. We've got community members from streaming who are helping us work on Dread. We don't have any artists on the team like full time. We do sort of now. We have some people who are hopping in and helping us out with things, and they might want to work on some other projects. You'll see them coming around. So yeah, I'm 42 myself, Willing Panda. So yeah, that's kind of our deal. If you ever want to talk about any of that stuff, I'm always open to discussing it. If you do Unreal work yourself and you want to learn some things, absolutely ask for help. Let me see if I can. Tony, do you know if the bot's up and running right now?
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's all our socials. We do YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, which reminds me I need to pull up the YouTube just to make sure I'm reading chat. We are not professional streamers. It might seem like we have a very nice professional setup. That's because Tony is goated. He's very tech savvy. He's a software engineer. That's why we're partners. So, Tony put all the stream stuff together, does all of our tech stack things. Very smart dude. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what you can expect. Today, I'm going to go through some gaming news. We've actually got some today. It's not great, unfortunately. But the industry for the last couple of years has just been really tightening purse strings, and austerity is a word that people like to use for it. I think last year, sometime in the summer, the count was at 60,000 developers across all of the game industry were laid off and lost jobs. Something like what was it? It was of that, half that number still hasn't found a job, and the other half is so we're talking about 30,000 professionals out in the field looking for jobs that can't find jobs. Oh, the other thing is, of that 30,000, Only half of those have found a job, and then the other half haven't had a job or callbacks in like 6 months. So yeah, it's really sad shit. It's very tight right now, and the reason is post COVID, post 2020. That was a big boom time for the game industry. A lot of money came in. A lot of people were spinning up new projects, starting things. Everything was popping. It was going really well. Uh, as soon as that started to cool off and AI hit, and people were getting excited about AI, all the investors started pulling money out. And when all that money starts disappearing from the industry, it's still very profitable. I want to say in 2024 it was like 158 billion profit as an industry, which is crazy. But yeah, so those investors are pulling out. They're putting their money into other things like AI, or crypto, blockchain stuff. That's what they're there to make money. So they saw this period of time where games was going to be great and they can make a lot of money. They believe that's over and they've moved on. So that means that everyone's just tightening everything up. Furthermore, there were some really big blunders in AAA, which I'm sure you're aware of. The easiest one to point the finger at is Concord, because that was a project that took 6 to 7 years, budget in the hundreds of millions of dollars, and the entire game was shut down 2 weeks after launch, and the studio shuttered. I worked with a bunch of people who worked on Concord, so I have firsthand, knowledge of talking to those people about what their experience was like. Not great, to say the least. So it's very hard in the game industry right now, but also a good time to go do your own thing. If you got the knowledge and the expertise, could be a great time. There's never been a better time to be an indie game dev. So that's what we're doing. Our flagship product that we're working on was a VR game called Hyperskate. We've got some trailers for it. So if you want to go check out our stuff and follow us out there, all of the VODs from every Twitch stream are up on YouTube, so you can watch any of the VODs you might have missed if you really like this type of content and like what we're doing out here. But yeah, that's kind of the deal, brother. Thank you for hanging out, Willing Panda. So since I said that there's some sad game news, we got more layoffs. We've got more studios shutting down. I think chief of which that is disheartening to us because we're fans and we like the stuff they do. Sony's shutting down Bluepoint, the developer of the Demon's Souls remake. They apparently had a couple of things in the works, and very suddenly they just got rug pulled and they're donezo. So that's tough, and that's another around 70 employees that are going to lose their jobs. Skilled game developers. Yeah. So it's even harder if you're out there trying to find work and you've been laid off because you're competing with a saturated market. It is an employer's market for employees right now. That was really discouraging. Yeah, sorry about that. Always here to take notes. Been self-teaching for 2+ years now. What are you working on, Willing Panda? I'm assuming you're an Unreal guy. That's your thing. Yeah, and that's cool. If you want to talk about Unreal, we're very happy to do that. Adder Shishin, I like it. Champion USA. Bringing home the gold, baby. Hell yeah, dude. LFQ got all-time leaderboard, but we'll look past that detail. Yeah, LFQ is the goated goat, dude.
Yeah, Adder and Cog are tied up. They're not even close.
Yeah. Willing Panda says, I find the I'm here to get paid mentality to be very frustrating. Are you talking about like on Twitch? Like the way people stream? Or yeah, give me a little context because I'm happy to talk to you about that. And I can explain so the stream's been really good for us too because of, subs and donations and any money that we make from the social media, it goes directly into the business. And that's like, we're not, it's not like beer money or anything. We use it to pay for software licenses, tools, when people need things, web server storage, all kinds of shit like that. So it's operations for the business. And because of that, we can't pay ourselves. We have to figure out other ways to make, our bills get paid for like personal stuff, but the business bills get paid. All through the social media stuff, all through Twitch and donations and whatnot. Concord and Marathon got Sony down bad. Yeah, dude. I mean, Sony lost a fuckload of money on the acquisition of Bungie. That was that was a really bad business decision. And who would have known? You know, you would have had to be on the inside to be like, hey, Sony, don't fucking do this. And unfortunately, those people, you know, they know each other and they talk. And I'm sure that at one side of the conversation, there's someone going, man, you really fucked me here. And on the other side, there's someone going, I don't give a shit. You gave me a bag. Now I'm leaving this industry and I'm going to go just party, you know, and do whatever the fuck I want with my life and my time and my money. The stream has been really good to build up a community, folks who can support each other in Unreal Dev 2. Yeah, I think you're saying that you enjoy the community. Yeah. So Omni has been around for a while. He's a friend of mine, someone I know. But yeah, he comes through and hangs out with people in the stream and chats with them and learns more about content creation. Oh, I'm telling you all this shit and I didn't even give you the Discord link, dude. Discord is the best way to keep in touch, Panda. Because like I was saying, we only stream 4 hours a week. And we usually plan out the stream and have topics of discussion and stuff like that. So it's an entertaining show so that you're not just coming here and being like, well, they just been sitting there for 5 minutes, not doing anything. Like we plan out what we're doing typically. Sometimes we don't. It gets very sloppy, but yeah. So hop in the Discord. That's the best way. It's relatively active. We've got a lot of people that make a bunch of different things. Lots of game devs in there, indie and AAA. There's tons of people in there. What's up, Brightside? Brightside is another homie from the community. Yeah, it's been a cool ride, man. We've been very welcomed by the software and game dev community on Twitch. So a lot of people in our chat, you'll see are streamers and content creators on their own. They do their own thing. So check out the people in the chat. They're very cool. Currently, though, my wife and I are starting to get our feet wet on an overly ambitious RPG, action RPG, sorry. We hope to have it playable by the time our son is old enough to enjoy video games the way her and I do. We figure this way we can have our own future-proof version of a family board game night. That's sick. So, like, your goal isn't to necessarily release this to the public. You just want a game that you can play with your family where, like, you've built everything so you know what's in it, so it's appropriate for your kid, I'm assuming. That's very cool. Squad is good, Brightside. Admittedly, like, I've been having a rough day today, you know, just mentals, you know, we're not all, you know, pillars of rock, but yeah, today's been a little rough for me, but we're getting there. We're getting through it. I got the old Red Bull to help me out. You know, we're chilling.
I want to hear about your weird haunted shadows, Brightside. You ever figure it out?
So to give you a little perspective here, Willing Panda, Brightside is a music producer and game developer himself. He also streams on Twitch. He's got 2 games out there on Steam. Slice and Dice Pizza Survival is his latest game. His first game is called Silent Sonata. So Brightside has been having some issues with a flashlight that he's been trying to fix. And we've been, you know, back and forth discussing it with him, trying to help him out a little bit and figure out what his problems are. Did you get to do some HC Skull Crushers today? Bro, I was about to. So I'll just say this. I was having a rough morning when I got up. We go to the gym. My wife has this nemesis there. There's this girl who won't talk at all. We're generally friendly at the gym and encouraging, you know, when people are trying to work on something, we're like, yo, come on, you can do it, you know, like positive encouragement. Obviously, it's not for everybody. We've seen this chick many, many times. And the thing that's really annoying is, like, I will be working on something for my skill level, or my wife will be working on something for her skill level. This girl will not talk to us, not a fucking word. As soon as we try something or get on something, she'll walk up and just do it. And then she'll just, like, smirk and look at us and walk away. So I was about to do some HC Skull Crushers on this annoying lady. I was trying to think of some good words, and all of those were bad expletives that I was like, nah, don't say any of those. So yeah, I wanted to Skull Crusher this fucking lady this morning. So that definitely put me at an ill mood. Brightside says, nah, Tony, I haven't fixed it. Wound up just turning off my directional light for the level for now.
I was gonna try to replicate it, but I just didn't want to make too many assumptions about your setup, so it felt like a waste of time. But is it Lumen? Because I was gonna try, but I just need to know, like, is it Lumen? Is it forward shade? Is your directional light, like, static? Like it feels like someone I've seen before, and I could think of a few different things that I could just like kind of try to start messing around with in like a basic level to see if I can make it happen. But
Yeah, exactly, Brightside.
yeah, virtual shadow maps is another good one. It definitely feels like some sort of like if you look at I don't know, it just kind of like reminds me of like the opposite of what you'll see right here. If I walk down the street, there's a haunted house right there. It's like the second house on the left. And as I get close, the light appears. See, like it just reminds me of like some version of what's going on there for sure. And that's just something I haven't fixed. That should be pretty easy for me to dial in that like view distance or whatever that property is. I got to go find the specific one, but like kind of looks like that to me. But you just got the distance like 5 meters or something based on what it looks like.
Yeah, Omni and Brightside. Yes, this chick is still doing it, and unfortunately, she was there this morning. She was trying to mog me too, and I was like, I do not fucking care, lady. Like, I've tried to be nice to you. Just go away.
What? Yes, on the virtual shadow maps. Okay. And is it Lumen? Or is it yet? I know how to fix mine, unlike Brightside, but might not be the same problem. Lumen, yes.
Lumen, yeah.
Okay. Can't be forward if it's Lumen.
Stupid question. Is this maybe a Megalights thing that he maybe not be aware of or have turned off or said like definitely don't do this?
I don't think megalights generally might make them like more sparkly or something, but this is 100% like a shadow or like clipping thing or something like that. Lumen, yes. Adder, what do you think about what I said about like maybe the camera clipping inside his character mesh or something like that? Like one-way shadows on the mesh or something? I don't know. Says yes on the VSM. Happens in third person too. Okay, that is helpful. The directional light, like I don't know, you don't have anything like attached to the camera, do you? Like is there like something that's like running on tick or something that is like sticking itself to the camera or like you've done to make sure that something stays in view? It could be the UI, like happens in the editor in the default camera. Okay, so not even during a runtime. Okay, so that takes me back to like it having to be something like you said it's not post-process. We've eliminated that. And what about if you put a brand new directional light in the level? Like you delete the one that you have and then you go like up in here and you do add directional light. Does it do it again or is it just the one that you have that does it specifically? Same thing with a default directional light. Brand new level, no post-process does that. Yeah? Okay. All directional lights. Honestly, my setup in this game might not be perfect for testing this, but we're just gonna give her a try.
Yeah, so Willing Panda, we're trying to help Brightside troubleshoot something that he's working on. Adder is a AAA tech artist, does a bunch of stuff. He's highly skilled. Tony's highly skilled too. So we're just trying to help the homie troubleshoot his thing and get his flashlight working the way he wants it to. He's got some weird shadow cast bug.
I don't think it's a flashlight. I think it's just like this is happening at a level like all the time, no matter what he does. And
I thought it was related to his flashlight. I was probably reading it incorrectly. I did briefly look it over. I didn't read all the details of it. But Willing Panda, if you want to see exactly what we're talking about, that's in the Discord under what are we in? General Game Dev? Yeah, the whole conversation's in general game dev, and you can see like Brightside clipped it. There's a long conversation between Tony's wall facer and Turning Cog. It's right after Turning Cog posted a color match, one-click reference image grading match. If you want to see what's going on with there. Oh no, there's some more stuff. Sorry, Adder chimed in too. So if you scroll up past turning cogs thing, you'll see the conversation. If you want to just kind of
I got it up on screen now too, because I just wanted to remind myself exactly of what we were seeing. So it's hard shadow outside
weird.
the wall. It's like you can see the shadow definition in the sphere fall off around you, and then it's just like no light outside of it.
That it literally, like, the first thing that came to my mind was exactly what Adder said: draw distance, fade range.
But you have two directional lights. Why do you have two directional lights? You can't have two directional lights. I mean, I guess you can technically, but you're not supposed to.
Oh, bright side, that's a no-no. Papa Tony is scolding you.
Am I right there, Adder? Yeah, I know, like, you can do, like, weird, like, twin sun shit, like, Tatooine, but, like, outside of that, you definitely only want one directional light usually, right? You don't think it was just a test of brain you default? Okay. I mean, with 2 in the level, it's just a little hard to, like, say for sure, but, like, yeah. You need to set that, yeah, totally. But if that's just for testing, then that's probably not the reason, but just, that would be something to look at.
Brighton says there's typically only one at any given time. He was trying to, he just threw in a second one to be like, will this fix it? And it fucking didn't. So,
do you show if this happens outside or is this like an inside thing? I guess it would probably be happening outside too. Yeah.
Dude, that is a crazy lighting bug. I don't even know how you would get it to do that.
Is the not like affecting the world too? One is not affecting the world. It's outside. If they're a distance field thing, wouldn't it be the other way around? The accurate shadows are there from a distance, but only the close stuff that is broken. No, the close stuff is working. It's like once you get far enough away, it's just black.
Yeah, it's like not like there's like a very tight, like,
looks like there's a sphere around him where he can see the shadow and it falls off 5 meters. Kind of what it looks like to me.
Yeah, 5 meters is probably closer to. Yeah.
It also looks like it's doing, like, is this stuff it's doing with the lighting normal, I guess? Because, like, this is the shadow of this thing right here, which I guess could be coming from this door on the other side, but that almost looks like it's, like, coming through, like, the ceiling. Like, is it supposed to be doing that, or is that another part of this?
That's a good point. I assume there was a window behind it, but I don't think
saying the close stuff is removing the ceiling, which would be casting shadow. Oh, okay. Distant lighting is accurate. Shadows are broken, so the close lighting is off.
That's what's fucking us up. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was the other way. I was thinking it was only doing light in a close radius, but it's only doing shadow in a close radius.
Yeah, I mean, like, to Sushi's point, if this were like a draw distance or like a distance field thing, you would be seeing it happening outside of the radius generally, and you would see like the shadow is not working outside of your distance field radius, but your distance field radius negative? Or do you have distance fields on? Like, I don't know, but those would be some things to check.
Also, what's up, Sushi Bro? How you doing?
Sushi, I'm glad you're here, actually.
You're totally right, Sushi. I wasn't considering that. I thought
I wasn't either. It's just too many questions. So I was like, I'm not going to talk about the fact that it looks like the light's coming through the walls because, like, that might not even be related, but that might actually be the
that might be it.
Problem.
Yeah.
So
why? Yeah, this is the weirdest fucking thing. Why would you have?
And it seems like it's all meshes. Like, it doesn't seem like it's like a mesh thing necessarily.
Shadow should still be accurate close up with a broken distance field, but lumen bounce and reflections would be broken.
Change light direction, and so yeah, it's like I can't even think of a setting to like look at that could maybe make that happen. But like, I don't know. I'm just gonna type distance into here and let's see if we can find any.
What's up, Pineapple? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, because I mean, like, you have this distance field, shadow distance. I mean, since we have no fucking idea what to look at, that might be one to just like double check what that's set to on your directional light. Sorry, I know this is really small. Let me make it bigger.
That's crazy, Pineapple.
Yeah, so like
what's up, Turning Cog? How you doing, brother?
Distance field shadow distance here could be something to check, especially if this is checked here. It's a distance thing. I would say that might help you just narrow down things to like click on stuff and look at, is like type distance into the search and like look at some fields. As I'm sure you're very aware, this little like loopy arrow indicates the ones that have been changed from default, and that might give you an idea of, you know, maybe something got checked accidentally or something like that.
Yeah, dude, you better check your fucking hypotenuses, brother.
What do we got? If I remember right, one of his videos had a floor above partitions of the ceiling too, so I meshed with normals facing the other way, and it was still happening. Alarming. Oh shit, Boom's here.
Boom! Boom's calling the FBI. There you go, Boom. Enjoy the Beppis. Oh, there it is. Oh, shaking the Beppis.
It's like really close too.
A pee-pee material. Yeah, sorry guys. We're like drilling into bright sides.
No, I thought about this a lot yesterday and like could not come up with it. And then I was really hoping he'd come through so he could tell me if he figured it out. But send another video. No, it's just.
I think I only saw the one in there.
Just pictures. Yeah, I mean, you guys can see here, like it's such a hard edge on this test that he did. And it's really consistent. Like it's definitely a sphere on the camera, and that means it's like a distance or a radius of something in your settings or in your light, or I don't even know what else it would be, but it's got to be that. Okay, what do we got? Full undeleted post process, sky meshes. And the only thing that gets rid of it is just getting rid of the directional light. The same post process on all the other levels and doesn't do this. Okay.
What the fuck?
If it was me in that case, depending on how deep you want to go on this, you could try to verify your engine files, upgrade to a different engine version if you're not on 5.7. And the main reason I'm saying this is because it almost feels like your directional light is fucked up. Have you tried this in another project to see if it happens there? And it would need to be in the same version of the engine, but that might be telling if you like have some engine files that are broken or something that you need to just like, you know, pull back down. But you can do that verify thing in the Epic Games launcher too. But
no, Brightside, don't trip. It's not a distraction.
No, this is what totally this is for, dude. Like,
yeah, this is what the stream.
I want to help you. I'm telling you. So like, but yeah, if you want to do it, this verify button that you get in the launcher here when you hit the little arrow next to launch, that will just, it's like verifying your game on Steam when it's not working. And, you know, that'll catch stuff that got fucked up in the Epic Games files and it'll fix it.
Oh, Boom likes the content. Hell yeah.
Gonna try to open the asset in a new project file and see if it happens. Yeah, no, I don't really know what to do today, so this is kind of preferable to me just like spinning my wheels, honestly. So you like keep it coming. I wanted to figure this out. Like it was really bugging me yesterday.
Thank you for the follow, Willing Panda. Yeah, Willing Panda. Our schedule is Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday mornings, we're Colorado based. So Wednesday mornings we're from 10 a.m. to noon, and Thursdays it's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So yeah, I appreciate you following. If you wanted to know the schedule, that's a regular cadence. We've been keeping to that for years now. And like I was saying, if you want any of the VODs or see like some of the other stuff we've talked about, everything's up on the YouTube. You have to click on the live tab and you'll see every single episode in there. There's like 200 or something like that. I don't even know. Did we break 200? I'll go look it up. Let's see how many vidges we got in there.
Yeah, Brightside, that's probably kind of like maybe the order of operations that I would start doing just to verify that, like, I don't know, you got to start eliminating possibilities. So like start with the possibility that like the default directional light in your version of Unreal is just fucked up, and make a new project and try to use it. And if it doesn't happen, then you can kind of check that one off. If it is, you might just need to verify the files and then it might be fixed. After that, then I might be trying to like migrate the project into a different engine version just to see if that fixes something. You could also try to, actually, no, I changed my mind. This is what I would do next after the new project test. Make a copy of your entire project because I don't want you to fuck it up. And then in your copy of the project, you could even like try to run the copy once just to make sure it opens. But then delete the saved and intermediate and binaries and build and all of those like temporary folders in your project, and then rebuild it and see if this problem still happens, because that sometimes will just make weird shit stop happening too when you regenerate all that stuff. But it could be a real headache, so just don't do it in your main project until you know for sure it works.
Adder was saying, but he said that wasn't broken in a different level. It's just the same project. It works in some levels or every other level. It's just broken in this one spot inside the shop.
Oh, I thought he said it was all levels.
No.
Maybe I'm working off a bad assumption there then.
Yo, thank you for the follow, Willing Panda. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I hope you hang out and you have a good time with us. And you know,
Adder,
got any questions?
Censor you writing virtual?
I might have thought it was a link.
Weird. Okay, wait. So what do we got? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I read that in Discord. Brightside says one other one it happens in. So not all levels, but 2 levels? No.
That's crazy.
If it's only 2 specific levels, but not all levels, like that has to be pretty easy to figure out. Like,
Adder thinks it's VSM overflow.
See, and like regenerating all of your intermediate and binaries and stuff might just like clear some of that out, but it might not be that straightforward either. Have you rebooted your computer since this started happening? I think is also just worth asking, because the answer might be no, and it might be worth trying. Because I'll get weird shit with Unreal where it's just like rebooting the computer doesn't happen anymore. Someone was stuck in RAM or something.
What's up, Gil? How you doing, brother?
Gil.
We're currently trying to help Brightside with like a wacky shadow issue he has in Slice and
Intermediate once a month, but it's also half a day killer when you rebuild everything. Yeah, and just occasionally Adder, like I used to be pretty reckless with it, and there's just been times where like it doesn't come back. I don't know. It's like it's worth figuring it out and fixing it when that happens, but like I don't know. There's been times where like legitimately never got it back, just had to like make a new copy of the project.
You got any ideas, Gil? Where we've gone down a couple different paths already. I don't know if you know anything about lighting, but you know, we've got Adder in here, we've got Sushi, you know, both are professional artists. You know, we're really trying to figure it out. It's a very weird issue that we couldn't even like reproduce. We couldn't make it do the thing that is happening in Brightside's game. Yeah, I mean Gil, I think your statement about it seems like dev time is 80% unintended bugs. That's games. You know,
that's development work. That's why people are developers and get paid to be developers, because they're the people who can work through it, and a lot of normal people would give up. But that's real, Pineapple. I know you do a lot of VR, so I know that's why you're saying that. It's real.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't have enough experience to help. No worries, man. Yeah, you can just hang out and listen to the ideas we've got, and that's totally cool, man. I was talking about there's more layoffs in the game industry, so this is probably a more interesting conversation than talking about how more people are unemployed now. Yeah, dude, moral support is huge. Yeah, actually, Pineapple. Blue Point Games was the Demon Souls remake studio. They just got shut.
Yep.
That sucks. I guess in the report they're saying roughly 70 employees will lose their jobs. And this looks like it was a financials review. And then, you know, Adder was mentioning like, man, Marathon and Concord really hit Sony hard. And yeah, he's not wrong about that. I think Sony's going through their entire portfolio and probably looking at where they can shore up losses and just cut the fat.
All right, Brett says, actually, it does seem to happen only on one map. I thought it was happening on the basketball one, but it's not. Adder says, use the VSM enable 0. Yeah, definitely try that. And I wanted to clarify, is it... Yeah, can you write that again, Adder? I don't know why I thought it was, like, censored or something. But the other thing to check, Brightside, I guess, just to, like, be 100% sure, is, like, if you copy the directional light from the broken level into another level, does it look okay? And then I guess, again, that'll just tell you more so that that one level is absolutely the problem and not the light itself or anything else.
Adder, what letters does it not like in sequence? It's VIR, right? Which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what word does it think you're typing that is, like, forbidden?
Is it VSM? Oh, I would think it would just be virtual, but R dot, it doesn't like the dots. Yeah, I probably just think that's a link. Okay, yeah. Got it. It's weird that it cut off the VI.
What the fuck, dude?
That's so strange. No, it's r.shadow.virtual.enable 0. I think.
Oh, it probably thinks it's a link.
It'll allow me to type it. Hold on.
Yeah, it probably thinks it's a link.
Yeah.
Yes, it 100% thinks.
Yeah, everybody go to
not
this
a link.
website. Let's see what happens.
Don't click on that.
Oh man, I clicked on it with the stream open and everything. That was probably a bad idea.
No, whoops. Oh shit.
Cool, we play a little Russian roulette. It was
hey, we did it. You just got doxxed from the link. Get out of here. Yeah, exactly, Panda. We basically turned off links in general in Twitch chat because for the first like year we kept getting bots that were dropping links. Literally just turning that off made most of them go away. So then I don't have to spend every stream banning like 2 or 3 people. One hour of learning failed. Yeah, you messed up, Pineapple.
Right, so it says it doesn't happen anymore, but no, it essentially looks like what it does without the directional light. But now it essentially looks like it does what it does without the directional light.
Can you drop another video? I think that'll help us.
Yeah, video or like screenshot or something. I'll put it up on the screen so you can all see it.
If it goes away with VSM off, then it's an overflow or clip map issue, which is pretty common. All right, that's good. That's good. That means you have a common issue, Brightside. Yeah, drop the video, big dog. The beefy boys, dude. Okay, so yeah, Pineapple Blue Point Games is shut. That's
everything's pretty. Did you got like a light on static and it wants to bake and it needs to be not on static. Almost guaranteed. Watch, I'm pretty sure I can do it right here. If I put this guy and I go static, shadows say preview. See right there. And if I take it off static, it goes away. Because it needs to be baked. And if it's not baked, you get the preview thing.
That's okay. That's unreal. Not thrilled about quantity of static and stationary lights.
All willing Panda's gonna fit in great here.
Yeah, you found the right crowd, Willing Panda. Welcome, brother. Come on in. Come on in. Oh shit! Pineapple's gonna work at a concession stand. Hell yeah,
all
dude.
My shadows are gone though. Post a picture so we can see it, but I think we're narrowing in on something here for you. So let's keep going. Yeah,
we're gonna get you there, dude. The other layoffs I saw were Ubisoft confirms layoffs at their Toronto studio, but insists that Splinter Cell remake is still coming. About 40 people just got laid off in Toronto from Ubisoft, so still going. Should I work at like football, baseball field, or water parks? Water park is going to be seasonal, pineapple. I guess football, baseball is probably
All of that
seasonal
is
too, but I
seasonal.
think they're opposite, right? Isn't the football and baseball seasons
No, I
opposite?
mean like I think baseball starts in the spring, football goes through the fall, so you're probably like fairly solid spring through like
Yeah.
winter basically. But I mean, I imagine the pool is more consistent. That's got to be open all day every day, and the sports field's only going to be like afternoons and weekends.
Yeah, at her fucking Guillaume, whatever his name is, needs to take the studio, the business out back and give it the old Yeller treatment, dude. I'm with you on that. I don't even know his name. His name is Guillaume. What the fuck is the guy's name?
Yo, pineapple, as the probably youngest person who hangs out in our chat, how hard do you go in AI? I want to know.
Summer job is great, bro. Oh, grocery store could be good work too.
I can record and replay movements with my arm so I can automate stuff and I can add a camera to it.
That's how deep you are in AI.
Yeah, do you do all this stuff like raw dog, or do you use AI for a lot of it? I know you're always doing crazy stuff. Honestly, not too much. I found it is worse than a baby at coding from scratch. If you ever want to talk about it sometime, you are more than welcome to hit me up. But the statement you just made is very wrong, and I can help you change your mind about that if you ever want to.
You have to talk to it the right way, otherwise it does bad things. And Adder's right, cursor, Claude.
And yeah, like Unreal wise, it's not very good. But if we're talking about like writing code, AI is very, very good now. You still have to be a good developer and tell it what to do.
Yep. Yeah, like it's not going to teach you. It's not going to make magical stuff from nothing unless you know what you're doing first. Then it makes it like you are an entire team and you're just one person. So that's what's cool about it. I use it for generative images for
sick.
What website?
They're talking about this Unreal AI. Interesting.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I use it for concept art, generative images. That's what I use it for. Tony uses it for like assisting with writing code and building projects and stuff.
Ramen VR.
Willing Panda says, I stay at home all day with my son while his mom teaches stupid math to 8th graders. I'm jealous you get to work your concession stand. Hell yeah, dude. Pineapple says he's using the Comet browser, which has an AI in the search engine. Yeah, that's the problem. You're using like the free jank ass LLMs.
If you're writing a lot of code, highly recommend just giving Cursor a try for a month and seeing how you like it. And I am sure that you probably will.
Sushi, the AI that you're using to help you write shaders will get better at writing shaders if you're like positively encouraging it when it's doing the right things too.
Shaders, they've been hit or miss for me so far. Like basic, straightforward ones, it seems fairly decent at, to be honest. But like, I've tried to push it really, really hard and see how far I can go, and it does okay. But I don't know. Like visual artistic stuff is still the thing that I really struggle with AI the most. Like I was trying to design a fairly basic logo the other day, and I tried for so long, and then I sent it to my brother, who's a graphic designer, and he knocked it out in like 10 minutes.
Pineapple, I want to caution you against doing that. Don't try to learn how to code from an AI. Don't do that. It's going to teach you bad stuff, and you won't even know that it's bad. So, what do you think would be the best way to like learn how to code, Tony?
I mean, contrary to what you just said, I've seen a lot of people actually like be fairly successful by like integrating AI into learning how to code, but I think you just need to be like really intentional about it when you try to do something like that, because a lot of people just kind of like let it shit some code out and just go, yep, looks good. And I think there's another version of it where like you could write the code and it can check it for you, or you can let it write the code but have it explain it to you. And I don't know. the same way learning has always worked, but you just kind of have a thing that can like help you get the right answer a lot more quickly and easily and straightforward. And you need to use all of the same parts of your brain that you would have used before AI existed. Like if you went on the internet and you just read some random shit that told you XYZ was true, like you can believe it at face value, or you can do a little bit of like extra research to figure out if it's actually true or not. And it's definitely how you need to treat things that AI teaches you. But
yeah, I guess
especially
I
like coding wise, like we're at a point now where like it can do coding without like it being really terrible and like making a bunch of stuff up and stuff.
Definitely learn from people and then use the AI to help you solve harder problems. When you already understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to do, that's probably the best way. Gil says, is it me that's really against AI as it's really horrible? The amount of hallucinations, fixing things I didn't ask for, brute forcing things like using tick and relying on Reddit with 0 upvotes.
Yeah, and like see, like you're literally calling out the things that like in your brain you already know are incorrect. And so like instead of approaching it from like, how do I do XYZ? And then it tells you a bunch of stuff that you know is incorrect and it references Reddit posts that have no comments on them and stuff. Like you just gotta reframe the approach, I guess, where like I would say most things you're trying to approach in like a game engine or a video game, like probably have been done before in some aspect. So it's worth like trying to find a tutorial that's adjacent to what you're trying to figure out, understanding the concepts there, and then being able to like have a more informed conversation with a model about like, okay, I've written this code, it does XYZ. I understand that because of like these things over here, this stuff is going to happen. And now conceptually, I kind of want to take it and like change that into this other thing. And like in my brain, I can see that like this thing and the thing I'm trying to make like are fairly easily related. And I just kind of need to like change some stuff here. That's where I think you'll probably start to be a lot more successful. Or if you're like trying to fix a bug like Adder said or something like that, it's like you can go into the conversation with a lot of context and a lot of like previous knowledge and kind of be in charge. Like don't let it make the decisions, let it like tell it to come up with an idea and then like run it by you or like ask you first and stuff like that. There's a lot of like tuning that you can do in your interactions with it. And I think a lot of the people who are kind of like AI writes bad code, AI is stupid, AI just lies to you, like all of those things are 100% true, but it's really just because you know, like the joke is like, make me $1 million SaaS product. They just like type that into the prompt and want to walk away and have it work. And you know, it'll probably make you something. It won't be very good though. And it's like the same as knowing how to use art tools or like any of these other things that we talk about. It's like anybody can use Photoshop or like, you know, draw with a pencil on a piece of paper, but you have to have actual skill to make it look good or be something that people care about. And,
Yep.
you know, just got to kind of think about it that way.
I liked what Omni said. If you want to learn to code by using AI, have the AI do things in steps where you can learn each step it is doing, why it's doing what it's doing, and then you start to recognize that piece of what the logic is, the code that you're trying to understand, what is good and what is bad. Don't move on to the next step until you fully understand what it did and try to learn and Google the why or ask it why it did it.
Or treat it like an employee. If you hired somebody to do something for you, ideally, you probably don't want them to like build your entire app and make all of the decisions and then come back to you when it's done and be like, okay, I did it all. And it's like, wait, what? Like you didn't run any of those decisions by me. We didn't like talk about it.
Yeah.
But you could reframe your approach with AI to be like, let's do this very small segmented task that has a very defined set of requirements. And then when you're done, let me look at it and we'll talk about it. And then if it's not quite right, I'll tell you and you can do another iteration of it. And you kind of just start to extrapolate that pattern out over like larger and larger systems. And it works really well in my experience. So I don't know. Unreal, which is the thing that we're here to talk about, definitely, you know, falls outside of a lot of that though, just because of the fact that like a lot of it has to happen in the editor and isn't necessarily driven by C++, which is like the main thing that I think the AIs are really helpful with now. But
so that's what Gil's talking about specifically. I think the thing that infuriates me the most is the gaslighting that most of the LLMs have. I had Claude, ChatGPT, and Grok swear that the issues I asked were known bugs and what pros use in AAA games. When I push back, I watch it quote Reddit with 0 votes, and it just gets even worse. So I think he's trying to do the thing that you were saying where the AI is helping him build stuff in Unreal, but it doesn't know enough about Unreal, and it's quoting bad information on the internet to tell him that this is the correct choice.
And I unfortunately, I just don't have really great advice for that right now, because that is 100% still a problem. I don't know if there is a solution to it, and I think it's more on Epic Games probably than the AIs themselves, because outside of Unreal, if we're talking about JavaScript or C++ or Python or open source projects or like public APIs or something like that, we're at a point where like if the knowledge is available and you can kind of point the models at it, and a lot of the time they've just been trained on it at this point, like they know it really well. The problem is that with Unreal, like literally the documentation doesn't exist. Humans can't find it. AIs can't find it. It hasn't been written by Epic Games.
Yep.
Like it's just like half-baked C++ classes on a web page half the time. So it doesn't change any of the things that you're saying. But I just think like I don't know what the solution is, but it's like somebody needs to like write an AI to document Unreal, and then we'll all be like 10 steps ahead of where we are right now.
Ooh, Willing Panda, that's a great question. So there's sort of like a divide in desire to spend time and energy on things. It just in the game industry in general, there are, I don't even know what the ratio is, but there's a large percentage of game developers, not an insignificant amount, that prefer making games to playing games. And there are some who prefer playing games to making games. And for me, like Tony and I are sort of split on this. Tony definitely still loves playing games, but I much prefer playing games because I do like creative direction stuff and vision things. And so that's a big part of my process, is like absorbing other stuff, other artistic content. So movies, TV shows, books, video games. And so like for me, that's a huge part of the process, is just like intaking that stuff, because it just gets my brain going and thinking about like what we should build and why we should build it and how it works and all that stuff. So I love playing games. Like that's the whole reason I got into this. It was sort of like a weird frustration point. So I started making games professionally when I was about 30, maybe like 27 or something like that, or 28. Got my first job as like a professional game designer where I was paid, I think when I was like 29, something like that. So that being said, the reason I got into it, I was a network engineer, and I worked, enterprise carrier class network engineering stuff. And that was such a good job that I was able to have more free time. And in that free time, I was like, why am I doing this? I want to go make video games instead. And then like transition my career into that. So it came from a place of frustration where I was playing these games and I'm like, I could fucking make this better. Like I could do this better than some of these guys. And then I, proved it to myself and built a whole career. And I'm much happier with what I do professionally now over network engineering. The money's not as good. It just never will be. You can get a more normal job doing very similar, tasks with similar skill sets outside of the game industry, and you'll make probably 30 to 50% more depending on what your job is and what you do. So it's really all passion. I don't know. I like creating things. I like having ideas. I like coming up with ideas. I like telling stories, and I get the most inspiration when I'm like consuming some other artistic content. Like nothing puts me in that creative flow state of like daydreaming about something more than when I'm playing a game or watching a movie. And like, that's when I'll like take notes to myself and be like, oh, that's a good idea. Like write that shit down, try to remember it, pause what I'm watching and then like think deeply on an idea that I have and try to imagine how that could be used in a creative project. So which way, Panda? Do you feel the same way about saying like I could fucking make games better than some of these guys? I mean, yeah, I do think that comes from a place of pride for sure, and you got to be careful because when like pride gets in the way, like there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and like pride and like self-assuredness, right? And arrogance is when you've got like this sense that you're superior, without anything to support that sense of superiority. Like you haven't done anything. And that can be a really hard place to be in. But when you do stuff, then you prove it, right? So like, I think that's the important part. If you can have that attitude as your drive, but you can't outwardly express it until you do stuff that's meaningful or, you know, innovative or something, right? Or just big and important to people. Then when you do that, that's when like real arrogance can set in. And I've interacted with a ton of people in AAA that have crazy arrogance, and they're wildly out of touch with the audience, the industry, and like they just don't know what to do. But they say, let's do this with their chest, and you know, here's all this data that supports it. Here's why I'm going to do this, and the art is gone, and that's why you see problems in AAA. Let's see. Sushi had similar experiences using AI to help with After Effects. It was useful, but often confidently wrong about industry standard stuff. Didn't work at all. Panda, I joined a small team. We played Tarkov on our team. Yeah, Turning Cog is talking about the Fractal Grove team. For a team building exercise instead of trust falls and furniture forts. 100%, yeah. Oh, Brightside's project crashed. Boo. Then went back to just doing the same thing with the preview text on it. Oh my god, dude. Oh, good luck, Brightside. But yeah, keep telling us how it's going. Sushi says, I always go back and forth on which I find more fun, playing games or making them. It's a cyclical thing for me. I love taking influence from great pieces of art, but I also love putting my art into the world. I can get tired of either one eventually, though. I really feel that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's some real shit. There is this immense catharsis you get when you finish a project and you put it out there, whether or not anyone like appreciates it or sees it or plays it or experiences the thing you made. It just feels really good to be done with something. So after that, I usually feel pretty cooked, and I need to take a little bit of a break just to find that creative drive again. And when I do, it's all good. It's back there. I started modding Bethesda games, and for the effort it took to do that, I could make my own scuffed IP. So I did that instead for the last 4 years, learning those skills and trying to implement those ideas. Yep. Gil says, I think it's more utilitarian. Like your favorite restaurant is starting to suck so much, you tell yourself, why won't I just make it at home? Yes. Yeah. I think you're right on with that.
That's my approach with AI now. With everything.
We have Jarvis at home. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I think for me, you know, I had sort of that attitude of like, I could do this better, but I knew that the only way that I could prove that was to get into a AAA studio, have it be my job with benefits that's paying me full time, and then I would eventually get a chance to make something big and important. And that was where I went, and that's how I did it. And you know, I was scared. I didn't have the confidence. I was like, man, if this doesn't go, then maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this is not it, and I need to like write some novels. You know, I'm good with words. I'm good at writing. So I was like, maybe that's the next thing I could do for like a creative outlet. That could be, that's how I make my money and survive, right? So yeah, I've always been you know, I've always created things. I've always told stories, made characters, and all kinds of stuff like that. I did it from a very young age. You know, growing up in a position like where I was raised by a single mom, and I often had to be like in adult situations, like out at a restaurant, you know, while she was meeting like business clients or something like that, or in, you know, business school while she's taking night classes, and like she couldn't afford to get a sitter, or for whatever reason there was no one to watch me, so I would have to go to the class with her, which obviously is not great for a lot of people, you know, especially like if I were taking business classes at night after working a fucking full day, I'd be like, man, I don't want this fucking kid in here. But for what it's worth, I was always like really, really quiet, and I would sit in a corner of the room and like draw and read comics and tell myself stories, read books. Like that was it. That was, I wasn't, you know, I'm old enough that there weren't iPads, so I didn't have an iPad. I didn't necessarily always get to bring video games with me. My mom would mostly discourage that. So I spent a lot of time like being bored, and that is probably why my imagination is so big. So like it's a muscle. You got to work it out. And then eventually that gets you to the point where you're like, I remember when I was 13 and I told myself this story and like imagined a video game and basically designed a video game without knowing anything about how to build video games because I couldn't play one. So I was just daydreaming about the game that I was playing. And then I was like, I could probably fucking do this like for really real. And then I just started applying those ideas I had professionally and got to where I am today. But yeah, you have to actually do the thing. Otherwise, it's just arrogance. If you haven't done the thing, then, you know, you can talk all the shit you want, but until you do a thing. Let's see. I sat down in front of Unreal Engine when I saw a way to see the value of my when I saw a way to see the value of my Steam library. It's like $5,000 library of games, and I was still looking for the next one. Gil says, I'm the same as you. I just spent my entire late teens in the hospital bored as fuck. Yeah. Being bored is really, really good for being a creative. You have to struggle. Like creativity is struggle. We had Brightside on last week. I don't know if you feel the same way, Brightside, but for me, it's always like a really agonizing process because I'm never content with my ideas. Even when I've got something like really well fleshed out, I've learned over time through this career, like, this one's actually a good idea. Like, I know this is a good idea. I can see it so clearly in my head. I can play this thing in my head. I know what the experience is going to be like, and this will work. Building it is very challenging. So that's the other disconnect you'll start to hit, is like how you make that thing in your head reality so that everyone else can see it. Pineapple wrote a novel here. I don't know if you guys have seen The New Room. My dad and I built up from concrete walls and decided to put a projector instead of a TV. But we needed an upgrade. Found an auction that ended up paying us $200. You guys paid $200 for a projector, used projector. Okay, sweet. So you got a good projector. Nice. A theater history class. I heard the quote, tortured souls create the best art. I mean, yeah, that's totally real. Yeah, that's very real. Oh, Pineapple's saying that his Steam library is only $20. Pineapple's a younger lad. You know, Pineapple needs to get a summer job. That's kind of the thing. You got to remember, Willing Panda, that we're not all 40-year-olds on the internet. There's a wide range of people out here. So when I was young in daycare as a child, no one would play with me, so I would sit on the swing and create whole symphonies in my head. To this day, I still hear and create music all day in my head. That is really fucking sad, Omni. I want to hug you. Even though I'm mean to you and hard on you sometimes, it all comes from a place of love, and I do care about you, and I don't like the idea of you sitting sad by yourself on the swing. I agree. Boredom is probably the best motivator. I know it sounds weird. It's so easy to get distracted today. Yes. I think all the nonsense shit that we can occupy our time with nowadays is actually killing, like, you know, innovation and inspiration and creativity and the way people have traditionally built technology and things that change the way everyone lives is by like solving big problems. And they're like, I'm fucking tired of this problem. I want to solve it. I want to do a thing. Or like, man, no one has told this story that I know is really important because like I've told it to my friends or family and they really like this message and it like resonates with them. I'm sure that this could work with other people too, right? Like that's the thing. That's the vision, right? At least for me, that's how I like got into that spot. God damn, Omni. Yeah. He's a little guy. Oh, Brett said I'm allowing that. When I worked in factories, it was like meditation through action. I had my best ideas grinding out meaningful tasks and would write that shit in a pocket moleskin. Yes, dude. So I think a repetitive manual labor task is also really good for that. So again, for a big chunk of my life, I did, blue collar jobs, and I would, your mind sort of shuts off. Like your body will go through the same motion over and over again, but your thoughts will start to wander. And if you can do productive things with those thoughts instead of dwelling on like, man, I got to change my situation or whatever, and you can start telling stories and doing all that other stuff, that's flexing that imagination muscle. And you got to keep building that. And as that gets more and more powerful, you'll start to, I guess for me, I can't really shut it off. That's kind of my bigger struggle nowadays is like, I got to find ways to just turn it the fuck off sometimes. Cause like, I don't really go to sleep very well. It's very difficult to get to sleep. Brightside says, dude, Warka came into the beat off last week and said, do you guys see this as kind of pointless with the rise of what's Suno?
Suno. It's like a music generating AI service.
Yes. And I was like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever read.
100%, dude. That's
specifically
wild.
As a developer whose worth is also degraded by AI, but because it's not that we are still creating someone with an end goal in mind. Sometimes the act of creating is the most cathartic part of art making. Yes, Brightside. Yes. I hope the industry of all these mediums crash and burn, but people doing them is a part of being. Dude, I really don't think that people are going to go away. I think it's crazy that, these investor types that are really hyped on AI are like, all the people are going to go away. We're going to have these tools. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. Like, it's just,
some people just look at it as like, it's sort of like a hard metaphor to make, but it's like, I don't know. I think people like myself and Brightside and you and stuff, it's like, this is just a new like paintbrush. And
yes,
this is a new like thing that we got at the art store that we get to like make cool shit with. And some people are like, this is a thing that like makes it so I don't have to do anything anymore. And that's what they want. And it's like, I want to do it more. Like this just allows me to do it different and better. Like, and that's what makes me excited. Like, I don't know. It's just like built different, I guess. That's crazy. Yeah, make cool shit. Like Boom said, like that. It doesn't matter how you make cool shit, but like I don't know. People don't make music to make music. They make music to make cool shit. Like,
Boom is one of our favorite chronic make cool shitters. I don't know that. I didn't like the way they came out. I'm sorry, but you're not a shitter.
Exactly. It's like calculators just invented math nerds to do more math better and faster and like figure out crazy shit. Like that's what this is supposed to be. And some people are like, I'll never have to add 2 + 2 again, and they're happy about that. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Willing Panda, you're right on that. Long division basically is why we invented math or calculators. Yeah.
I don't know. And just like especially AI music, like probably the grossest possible thing you can do with AI. Like AI generated art, gross in a weird way. AI music, like zero interest in it whatsoever.
Pineapple, I like that you're always inspired and wanting to make new things. Try to focus it a little more, especially as you get older, into finishing a thing that has value to other people, not necessarily just yourself. The reason I'm giving you this advice is because you'll find yourself, 20 years from now and think back on like a moment like this where you're like, man, I'm really glad I found a way to give to make this thing that brought value to other people, because now I can buy a house and pay my bills and like live comfortably because I chose to do that. The alternative is that you get a standard job, really good ones, engineer, doctor, lawyer, that type of a thing. You make a lot of money, but you're not making stuff that you want to make. You're making stuff that someone else tells you to make. You're doing things that someone else tells you to do. You're using your expertise to gain a large amount of money. And you eventually come to the point where you look at like your bank account, you look at your memories, you look at the sacrifices you made to get that number go up in the bank account. And like, it doesn't really mean all that much. It's nice. I'm not going to pretend that, being poor is a good time. It's fucking not. It's awful. It makes everything worse. But the real shit at the end of the day, when you're like looking down the road from where you came years ago, is when you can be happy with how you spent your time and you have these memories of the time you spent with people you care about and that care about you. That's what it is. It's all about the experiences and the people you share them with. So if you can find a way to exercise your creativity, and that creativity and that excitement and that passion for building stuff also makes you money, you will be in a very small percentage of human beings that actually enjoy their lives. So yeah, do what you can to get there, brother. I don't really have a motivator like money, I feel like, though. Yeah, I mean, that's because you're too young, man. When you start getting bills to pay and shit like that, and you're out in the world on your own, that is a horrifying motivator. And you will go get a job because you don't want to be homeless. It's just the way it works, dude. Respect to the man that makes math his artwork. Yeah, dude. Yes, I really like those people. Couldn't be me though. Math doesn't do it for me.
Everything is math. So
everything is definitely math. I know that, but I'm more vibes based, and math does not respect vibes. Math is or is not.
Vibes are math.
No, they're not. Stop it, Tony.
Everything is math, man.
Everything is computer, Tony.
Yep. Computer also math. So everything is math.
Stop it. No. Adder says, I legit had a neighbor growing up that enjoyed long division. We were in math tutoring together. Long story short, they went on to be a mathematician for Raytheon Missile Guidance Systems. Yeah. I mean, that's a great fucking job.
Yeah.
That's a sick job. You're going to make a ton of money, and you won't ever be worried about like, oh shit, we got rug pulled for our fucking parent studio or whatever. Our publisher was like killing our project. That's not going to happen at Raytheon.
No, because in the future there's only war.
Oh shit. I like Willing Panda's statement here. It's not the circus you'll miss one day, it's the clowns. That's very true, man.
That's fucking real, dude. Holy shit.
That is fucking deep, dude. I like that. That's good. Growing up poor definitely made me extremely hungry and is a major contributor to my success as a game dev. Real. I missed like 3 points to have the option to be dual enrolled in high school on math. I mean, Pineapple, so I'm giving you this advice because I know that you're very driven and you like to make shit. That's why I'm saying focus that into something that provides value to other people, because you can get lost in the cycle of creativity. It feels really good to spin up a new project and then just drop it and never finish it and then spin up another project. At the same time, when you're younger and you're in school, yeah, I'm gonna say it anyway. When you're younger and you're in school, especially in public school, the stuff, I don't know if you go to public or private school, but the stuff you're learning in public school is how to be a citizen that is a part of the big societal machine. You're not, it seems like you're learning like math and science and history. Yes and no. You're being heavily conditioned to wake up at a certain time, do work through a certain period, work ends, and then you do other stuff, and that time belongs to you. So
it is kind of a function of like agriculture society from the 1920s or something like that never changed. Yeah,
it's literally Henry Ford when they invented mass production, and the factories were run by human beings. He created the 9-to-5 8-hour-a-day schedule. Before that, people worked when work was needing to get done, otherwise they just chilled. And so the norm for us in our culture is you work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And that is a lot of your time. That is a significant chunk of your life. So this is why I'm giving you this advice, Pineapple, because you can avoid that whole rat race. If you can make yourself, or if you can make or find success with your passions, it's so valuable, man. It's something you never want to let go of. You will regret it and feel bad about it later. For me, that was why I started making video games, because I had a really good job that was paying me really well, highly skilled. And I was like, I don't fucking want to do this. I really don't want to do this. And I was having a tough time in life. And then I went through a lot more struggle making video games, but I've also found some of the best moments of my life making video games. So, find your passion and connect with it and like make that a focus. It's okay to change it later. You should always kind of approach it that way too. You can be like, oh man, I spent like 5 to 10 years like learning how to do this one thing and I'm really good at it, but I'm not passionate about it anymore. Change. That's what life is all about. Change who you are, grow, become a new person. Play and create 9 to 9. Yeah, boom. That is not necessarily healthy, but live your life.
And that's 9 a.m. to 9 a.m., right?
Yep. Boom's on the 24-hour, 4-day straight cycle, and then imminent crash for 16 hours. Bryson says, I thought about a way to get back at the climbing wench. Go ahead, dude. I thought being retired and sorry, let me read this again. I thought being retired and a stay-at-home dad, I'd excel with this hobby. It's tough. It is really tough. Struggle is really important to all of us. If you get to the point where you're not struggling with something, you're going to get really bored and you're going to create problems that become struggles. So be aware of that and charge headlong into a struggle that is tied to a passion that you care about. Because like Brightside said, that catharsis from creating something and just putting your soul into it, like who you are as a person, that's so valuable. And the other piece for me was, this only really happened at Bungie, but having success with stuff I made in a video game and talking to complete strangers all around the world about stuff that I made and like why it impacted them or was meaningful to them in some way is like a different fucking layer of just crazy satisfaction you get. It's like a calming feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like a catharsis again. Like you get a second one. So the first one is finishing the project and you're like, oh, it's done. Now I get to think about something new and start a new thing. The second one is when you see your work do well, and then you get to enjoy that and you get to talk to people. It's a very strange experience too. Maybe when you and your wife and a couple of other disgruntled onlookers cheer her on when she does it, like really loudly. I mean, honestly, bro, that might be why she got mad. Because we were nice to her a couple of times and she seemed embarrassed and didn't say any words. Like she doesn't talk at all to us. And we saw her last week and she brought a boy to the gym and she was fucking yappy, dude. I've never heard this girl have so many more words. Because I'd be like, that was really cool, man. Nice job. How'd you get up here and do that? And she'd just be like, thanks. That's it. And, we've seen her for probably 6 months at the gym. And and when she brought the dude, she was just fucking nonstop talking. And I'm like, I think she hates us. Number one fan? Hell yeah. Revenge tactics. Yeah, he's crashing out at her. That's how he's doing. I think I missed. Oh no, I read that one. What are your thoughts on entrepreneurs? I mean, we are entrepreneurs right now. Like you're talking to several of them. It's very empowering, but you can't jump into it without any money. You just can't. You have to get to a place first where you're stable. There are many ways to do that. I think the best example I can give, this is a little weird, so follow me here. There's a show on Amazon Prime called Clarkson's Farm. It's by Jeremy Clarkson, who's a BBC presenter. He did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the BBC. I think he did Strictly Come Dancing, some other shit like that, chiefly known for Top Gear. There's a farmhand that he works with that he hired to run his farm in England. And his name is Caleb. And Caleb's story is phenomenal. Caleb, at the age of 13, decided he was going to be a farmer. So he was just a young guy. And the first thing he did was he asked his mom for 2 chickens. And his goal was to sell eggs. And by the end of the first year, he had 148 chickens. And he was selling eggs to everyone at his school, everyone in his neighborhood, all the shops, all the restaurants. He was selling eggs to everyone in his town, and his business started to grow. So he kept layering it on. Got a tractor, started farming, started doing other stuff while running his chicken business. So he's an entrepreneur, started very young, but he started with a base, a very simple task that he could complete and provide a service and sell. And that just kept building, and now he's close to and trying to build his own farm. He's become like a farming influencer in England, but yeah, he's it's a very inspirational story. Let's see. Retired is always going to get me now. I missed it. I missed that, Tony. Don't worry about it. You don't have to explain.
Oh, I wasn't going to explain, but you know.
Yep. Makes sense. I know some people strive to be one and some people knock it. I think there are some people who call themselves entrepreneurs, but they don't do anything. They just kind of chill. Because they like the badge of being like, I'm in business for myself and I'm an entrepreneur. Don't you think I'm important? And that all comes from like insecurity. So that might be what you're seeing. You'll start to figure that out as you get out into the world and, you know, get older. It's good to share your thoughts and projects with others who understand, be part of a community. Yeah, absolutely. That's goated, Boom. Willing Panda, you should chuck a couple of these people some follows, man. If you like really cool stuff. So like Boom streams a lot more than we do. Boom's making VTuber things. She does a lot of like 3D modeling and yeah, chaotic stuff. Really interesting stream. Brightside's a musician and a game dev. He's going to go live this evening. I think typically, you know, I'm not trying to speak for him, but he does a music production challenge this evening, and that's usually from like 6:30 my time until like 1 or 2 a.m. So if you want to see some other kinds of creativity and stuff, go check him out. Oh, did our shit just die, Tony? I saw a notification that said the Twitch stream ended. What? We bounced. We're back. Yeah, we're back. Sorry guys, I don't know what that was.
Weird.
Okay, so yeah, Panda, I don't know if you heard any of that. I was saying, you know, go follow Boom, go follow Brightside, check them out on Twitch.
Panda said that.
What's that, Tony?
Panda left.
How do you know Panda left? Did you say he was gone? Oh yeah, he's out. All right, never mind. Anyway, you guys are great. We like you. I hope Panda checks you out. Sorry, Gil, I want to read your thing. Sorry for changing the subject, but I have a genuine question consultation. When is a game a roguelike or roguelite? I'm still struggling with the game concept and realize any game that has enough ways to play it differently is technically a roguelite. Roguelike. I think Skyrim, Witcher, with different builds. So my issue, Gil, with that is the labels that people apply to genres. It doesn't fucking matter. I'll
give you my opinion if you want to hear it, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the turn of phrase, just so you understand the language, specifically comes from a game called Rogue. Rogue was built at a time when games very much followed a certain formula in AAA, but Rogue was built like an old school, you know, 80s, 90s arcade game where you would have limited lives, and if you died, you'd start the whole game over again. So that concept of if you die, the whole game starts over again, and you have to like get back through, you know, go past where you were. There's no save points. There's no progression systems or anything like that. That's a roguelike. A roguelite has persistent progression systems that support that loop of like failure. So
that's how I would explain it too, is like if there's any sort of like meta progression run over run that is happening where you unlock a new thing or you can kind of save currency from the last thing that you did, you're in rogue light territory because you're lightening up the brutality of losing everything when you die is kind of the way I've always thought about it.
That's totally correct.
And then, yeah, to Vince's point, the original rogue-like is a game that when you die, everything starts over.
Oh, another important thing to know about this, Gil, is these turn of phrase, like these terms we're using to denote genres of different games, these are marketing terms. All of this shit you hear comes from marketing. It's not the communities of gamers or consumers that are coming up with this stuff, but they start echoing it and they start repeating it and they start getting into debates about what a game is or why it should be called this or that or the other. None of that fucking matters. Adder is 100% on point. Genres don't matter for anything other than Steam pages. Make a good game. Yes. My goat. And then Brightside like that with lots of lulls and damn. Panda. Gil, I hope oh my god, guys, I'm so far behind on chat. I don't know what the fuck was happening. I'm sorry. I hope I was yapping while you guys were here to hear me yap about it. Pineapple is wondering what is the peak that he's seeing, Tony. He wants to know about the coin pusher stuff, I think.
What was the specific question?
I think he's just like, what the hell is that? He's wondering what it was.
Oh yeah, I got this this app I'm running back here that you're seeing. So this is playing a video. It's just like on a computer in my house. Has all these music videos on it. That's streaming over my network, and then I'm slurping that into Unreal over here onto that plane, and then I have this like stream ingester thing that I've been building that allows me to tap these video players into a stream, and then I also have these like waveforms that I can point at a stream. And so the idea is like I can have me and Vince's webcam and the music video all coming in here, and I can kind of dynamically like put one of the videos on one of the screens, put the audio from the waveform on, have multiple things, and I've been kind of trying to get it all put together. But like right now, it's just pointed at the audio for the music and the video for the music, and so. Yeah.
I went off on that whole thing about genres. Gil was actually asking, like, I'm trying to design a game loop. Like, what do I do? Help me understand your question a little more, Gil. Are you want to make a roguelike or a roguelite game loop, or like what? I can talk to you about game loop stuff, obviously. Like that's my bread and butter. And you're asking about replayability. You're working on RPG, right? I think. Or I can't remember what you were making, Gil. Were you? No, that was a different dude. You're not the guy who's making the solo dev making the
He showed us that really cool PCG generator last time he came through. Well, like landscape thing.
Yeah. No, that's good, Gil. You should definitely not start with trying to make a genre. You shouldn't worry about that. You want to make kind of like an RTS. All right, cool. So it sounds like you got some tech figured out, but you're not sure what the game is, right? And it sounds to me like if you're making an RTS, you probably want at least a player and an opponent, and then some expression of what each side can do strategically, right? And I like give me like an abstract, like a very high level view. Be like, oh, you're like a guy, and you start with one guy, and that one guy can like build a factory, and the factory can build like some soldiers, and those soldiers can go like shoot enemies. You know what I mean? Give me something like that. I was trying to describe like Supreme Commander or Total Annihilation in that regard. Ideas to generate levels. So each run will be unique. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. Okay, so you want to kind of go with like a run-based RTS? Adder's 100% right there. Block out the game loop with colored cubes only. If it's fun with just cubes, the art will make it better. Okay, so if it's run-based, where I would start is the beginning and the end of a run. Like, clearly define those two pieces, because it's easier to fill the middle in. If you just start at the beginning and you start adding shit to it, you'll never know where you need to end up. And you can do that forever. But Adder's totally right. You need to find fun very quickly, because fun is very difficult to create without a very strong sense of vision or experience, wisdom, because you've done it before. If this is like your very first time like building a game loop, you gotta test shit with the simplest things possible. Don't waste your time on art, visual effects, any of that. Just be like, okay, so one of the tools you can do is you can paper design everything. You can literally write out, this is a infantry unit on a piece of paper, and place it on the board and mock play the game by yourself with just pieces of paper. And that can be great, because you're like, oh shit, you'll start to see the possibilities of like, oh, when a player's in this situation, they need a tool to do this other thing. And you might go, I need to make a unit that does that, or a mechanic that works against it. A big part of it is all understanding affordance, which is the situation where a player makes a choice. So an affordance problem can be that there are no choices or there are too many choices. So honing that in is only really doable through playtesting. You have to play what you've built and then be like, okay, this is working, this thing isn't working. And this is the time for your wacky ideas, your blue sky, make anything because it's on paper. You're writing it down. So that would be really easy. You can also shortcut that and do that with Unreal. But the problem is sometimes it'd be like, well, I already made this, so it should go in. That's not necessarily true. Knowing how to edit is very important in game design. Okay, so abstract this as like a regular RTS loop. From what we know about how RTSs work, you typically start with a builder or no base. Like you have like one thing, and you're building up a base so you can get an economy, so you can build an army, and then use the army to eliminate your enemy opponent. That's it, right? That's the abstract game loop. So if you're starting with that, you can do that with the player, and that could either be the town hall if we're talking about like Age of Empires, and you can do that with a soldier, and then you can do that with an opponent and a soldier, and then you give those numbers, stats, whatever you want, and then you play out the battle. And you think about how that works. You're asking, you already have a working level. You're asking about the macro. Can you be a little more specific? Like, are you looking for technical setup? Are you looking for... So I think if you're trying to build an RTS, one thing that I would understand or study is like strategy and war, and like what people use. You need to study strategy and tactics. Like, why did the Roman legion train people at the academy? What was the benefit there? Why was there a tactical advantage? That'll give you some inspiration for different kinds of units. You could have like a trained infantry unit versus a barbarian or an untrained infantry unit. They can have different stat expressions in that way. A lot of an RTS is numbers, so you're going to have to do a lot of number stuff because it's interplay between those two things and how you use those units. Do you want economy, army, those are really important things. So balancing an economy is like really important. The campaign run, I mean, that's like, that would be kind of crazy. Just thinking about an RTS that is like run based. The things that make roguelites the most fun are when you can get an item randomly, you get something that gives you a synergistic gameplay mechanic that makes you very powerful. So it's a little luck based in there, but getting those two things to line up is really, really fun. I don't necessarily know how you would make an RTS that is a roguelite. They're too formulaic. Can you be more specific about what you mean in formulaic? Also, my eyeballs are floating, so I'll be right back.
Ooh, okay, Brett said's back. Man, I replicated everything into a new project folder. Same engine. Added the directional light, and boom, it's there. It's got to be something in this level. Okay. What all's in the level? Like, and like, as extreme as it is, like, how many things? Like, if you deleted everything in the level except for the directional light, I guess it would be kind of hard to tell if it was happening because nothing would be casting shadows. But like, when you start like aggressively deleting everything except for the directional light and like that room that you were showing in that video, and just like, I don't know, like it'll probably be one of the more obvious things, like the, I don't know, a light in the level, the skybox, the, I don't know. We've already talked about all of the really obvious ones, the post process, the, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know, but that's what I would start doing. Just start fucking deleting shit, man. Like, something is gonna make it just all of a sudden like stop happening, and you're gonna go, oh, there it is.
Oh,
we got an OMFG. Let's go. Come on.
Oh.
What is it?
What the fuck?
Come on.
A Sky
Dome.
Let's go, brother.
Dude, I mean, you called that shit, though.
Brother,
I
we've
think
been saying that.
His skybox first. Like, I think he beat you and me to it, Adder.
Hey, that's
I mean, we got there. That's all we fucking. That's all that matters.
Okay, Gil. So this is a long conversation about gameplay mechanics. I really want to help you. So I'm looking at Rogue Command. I see what you mean about cards. So that's an important contrivance in roguelite games. They have cards in there because that's what roguelite players want to do. It doesn't mean you have to do it that way. The best advice that I can get you to finding a loop is, where does your run start and where does your run end? If you know exactly how your run ends, which I haven't necessarily seen you type that out, that will help you a lot. Because then, and what I mean is, there's two options: victory or defeat. How does the player win? How does the player lose? And when you understand those two things, you can begin to build the whole loop around that. So you get the start point of the loop and the end point of the loop. And then you build all the gameplay in between so that it fits together. I don't like cards. I like campaigns. So what that sounds to me like is almost like an overworld map. I'm not saying that's exactly what this is. There's many ways to execute on it, but it sounds like an overworld map where you have like smaller battles. Have you played Mugenics at all? It's not an RTS. It's turn-based tactics, but it's very solidly designed. I edited my Sky Domes like 10 times. Time to pop a bottle? Hell yeah.
Dude, solving a bug like that got to be better than what it feels like to inject heroin, which I've never done, so I can't actually say for sure, but like, got to be up there.
I think it's very similar to shipping a game and then getting positive feedback from strangers.
There's just times where like I'm stuck on some shit for some days, and the time where it finally gets figured out is like the most relief I've ever felt since I was alive.
Okay, Gil. So again, like, where does your battle start? Where does your battle end? And then you're doing a map-based thing. You need affordance, which is a choice. So where the player's picking from 3 cards, you should have the player be able to choose which battle they go to next, and there are conditions on each battle. And those conditions are the roguelite choice that a player is making, right? Instead of going, I want this card, you go, I'm choosing this battle because I get like a buff or a debuff, and the debuff potentially gives me better rewards or something like that. I'm choosing more challenge and more risk. Like, that's the whole thing with why roguelites work. People like to take a chance and get that hit on the good choice. So it's somewhat gambling based for psychology. Look at the image from Discord. That's what you're looking for?
I got it on screen.
Okay, sick. Oh, so you want like large scale changes in fronts and stuff like that. Okay. So this is trickier because are we getting into like micromanagement of units, or are you talking about like the overarching big choices? I mean, it could be like, all right, so the way I see this, if we use the blue side as an example, there's 4 choices for where the player could go. They could go to the upper one, which shares no borders with any enemies. They could go to the upper right one, which shares 1 border with red. They could go to the middle one, which shares 2 borders with red. Or they could go to the bottom right one, which shares a border with red and green. That's sort of the choice that I would see in this model. Or the thing that I would, granted, this is based on UI UX. Like, that's what I would think you'd want me to do. But again, you have to know. So if we extrapolate this whole thing about the game loop, where it starts and where it ends, how does that end? What's the victory condition, and what does that look like at the end of the campaign? Is the whole map blue? Is the whole map red, green? You know, like whatever your color is. Those are important pieces, and you're probably going to want to have some tension in there where you make an inroad here, but like one of the other sides pushes down here. So now you know you need to go over there to stop them from getting some resources or something, right? Like, yeah, it's all about player choice, but it's also about constraints. So I think you need to set some constraints for yourself. And that's why I would start with what the end of a campaign looks like. Because then you'll know how the player, like, you'll know what position the player should be in at the end, either victory or defeat, right? Like what that looks like. And then you can start to connect those 2 pieces. It's always a stupid problem. It's just part of it. I have 30 plus bugs to fix that are all stupid issues I need to diagnose. Yeah.
Ceiling is still allowing light to shine through. So is it allowing light to shine through all the time now that you made this change?
Gil, if you want to talk about it more as well, you're always welcome to DM me, and we can have it. Like, this is a long conversation. You know, this isn't like fixing Brightside's bug. This is like, what, you know, it's a big conversation about like philosophy and like human psychology and like what's fun and all kinds of stuff like that. I've had this conversation with Brightside. I've had this conversation with Queen Anne. It's my, you know, the door's open. If you want to talk to me about this stuff at a you know, more extended conversation, it's probably worth it. Okay, perfect. But yeah, I mean, you know, don't be shy, dude. Like, you know, hit me up. It's useful. Turning Cog says, can highly recommend DMing Vince. Changed what the fuck I was doing in my project for the better. Thank you, dude. That means a lot. Thank you. Because I care about that. I don't want to just talk to hear myself talk. I genuinely want to help people like find the fucking road they're trying to go down, you know? Yo, Adder, that's so real. It's always a house of cards. Sometimes if shoving a cube in the ceiling fixes it, it fixes it. And that's what you ship. Yes, dude. That is very fucking real.
I mean, real. But like, if your ceiling used to block light and now it doesn't, you can shove a cube in it. But like, to me that would be like, you should probably figure out why that happened, or it's gonna come back later and it's gonna be worse. Like, but I know you know that too. And maybe it won't. Hopefully the cube will be fine. Fingers crossed.
What's TWSS? Too many TWSS moments.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yes, thank you, Tony.
I had to Google it. But...
yeah, dude, you got to connect the 2 points or whatever, you know? Shove a cube in it.
Check your hypotenuses.
You better check those fucking hypotenuses, bro. This shit ain't making me sick at all. And then, you know, and then he just pukes everywhere because workaholics.
Literally every COD World War II and Advanced Warfare map had 2 skybox meshes, 1 inverted normals because our light baker broke, and an inverted identical sky that the player would see in game. Oh my god. Why didn't you fix it?
There may not be enough time, Tony, and producers are going to be like, we got this date. It's got to ship. Fix it. I don't care how.
But yeah, well, your solution sounds non-performant, but whatever.
Did UE just get an update? Ask Gil.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Hogs on
It's
573.
available. Also, it says 573. Okay. Yeah, don't do that, dude. That's not a good idea.
Oh
You
no,
almost
Gil.
baited me into doing it, but it's like, oh, like I got this shit running right now. I can't do that.
No, Gil, no. Oh, it sucks, dude.
The bike guy donated $5 and
Yeah,
said sub
when did that
money
come
without
out?
Amazon's greedy hands in your pocket.
Gil, I can also provide some suggestions to like some reading material that might be really useful. You know, for what it's worth, you don't need to read the whole thing, but the books are useful to have, especially as tools. One of them for creative ideas is called Thinker Toys. And what's interesting about that is it's just kind of like it's like a group of a bunch of different tools and exercises you can use to be creative. That can be really useful. I used it a few times. It's helped me get through some blocks or whatever. I typically don't hit blocks anymore, just because like a lot of the stuff is just innate. It's just learned. And then the other one I would say, if you want to get like really into the academia of game design and like how to think about making a game, check out Jesse Schell's book, The Art of Game Design, A Book of Lenses. I've got that over here somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere over there. But yeah. So that one, what I didn't like about it is because I kind of like caught on the concept, like not even a third of the way through the book. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's going for. And then the rest of the chapters are like, here's a different lens you can use. Here's a different lens you can use. And I'm like, all he's talking about is be able to, you know, pull your perspective out of you as an individual and really try to understand what a different person might be thinking and what they find enjoyable about a thing. I don't know if you've been around when I talk about like, you know, movies and games and stuff like that. And the reason why I play them, I will often play stuff I'm not interested in. So this isn't like, you know, chill time, just fuck around and play some games time. It's I'm studying and I'm playing a game that I would normally not play or watch a movie that I would normally not watch, trying to understand what a person finds compelling about it, because that will help me grasp that core concept and then recreate my own version of it in something else. So it's not just like straight lifting ideas out. That's not what I'm saying. It's more like put yourself in the mind of someone who would enjoy this thing. And if a bunch of people are saying this was so fucking cool, I really loved it, put yourself in their shoes and try to consume the content the way they do and understand what these things are that are triggering these reactions they're looking for in that art that they're consuming. So like that's very important. And that's what A Book of Lenses is all about. It's defining what those lenses are and how you shift your perspective to be in one of those modes to think about a thing. So when doing that, you know, I was exercising that in trying to explain to you what I would do for like a macro loop and just like abstracting and breaking these things down into simple concepts and then understanding one piece, build that piece, play test it, feel it, see what it's like, build another piece that supports it, you know, have some clearly defined pillars for what your game is. And what that means is these pillars support the core vision for the game. And if you're in violation of the pillar that's supporting the game, so like you're making a multiplayer game, you should probably not make solo content, especially not first. You should start with multiplayer things and only focus on features that support multiplayer. It sounds weird, but you'll have a much more cohesive, solid game at the end if you do that. Wait, shit, wrong flag? What happened?
Do you remember the joke that we made about holding hands yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Nice, dude. If anything frustrates me is that I have the capabilities, but when I finally have free time, I don't know what to implement. Brother, I'm telling you right now, that is like the core of Tony and I's business relationship and friendship. I can do things that he can't do, like idea-wise, and Tony can do a lot of shit that I can't do, which is implementation stuff. So
Well,
developing...
we got breaking news. I took Tony's advice and looked deeper into the reason why the ceilings don't have shadows. You're not going to believe what we found. Oh my God, he's vague posting.
Cast Shadow
off, bro.
No. Brightside, what have you done?
I mean, you found it.
Oh, good job, dude. Good job. Good job.
Why is the shadows off?
You're
Bro,
the
it's
best, bro.
always
You're
a
seriously the
fucking
best.
checkbox. Never fails.
Boom, it's a
Literally always
checkbox
a checkbox.
classic. Every
We
time.
found the checkbox, everybody. I'll go home. It's 4:00 on the dot. We found the checkbox.
Oh man. Oh, Brightside, you're the best, dude. Yeah,
Dude, I understand that. Like you just go like the shadows are turned on. I don't have to check that. It's gonna be something weirder than that. Like,
oh, man.
So good.
Hell yeah, thank you,
Oh my
Gil. I'll take a look at that and I'll give you like a more in-depth, we can definitely talk about it. So yeah.
This is why I say bring us your problems. We will solve
Yes.
them. Guaranteed. Every time. Get your Unreal problems solved by a literal professional game developer who's way better than us.
Oh man.
I saw Adder's game getting posted by Japanese people this morning.
Yes.
I had to send it to him. It was pretty exciting.
Yes. Mortal Shell
That's when
Height.
you know you've made it.
Boom has a lot of Unreal problems.
Oh, we know.
Is that like, you're not talking about the engine, right? You're saying like metaphorically they're unreal, difficult to fathom.
They're only real in Boom's mind.
Yeah, I have a lot of intangible problems. Turning Cock says, Tony texted me one morning, sweating like that meme. We spent 40 minutes hunting 3 checkboxes.
Which checkboxes was that day? Oh, that was trying to figure out how to turn substrate on. Yep.
Oh, Boom is poking around in multiplayer spaghetti. Oh,
Okay.
shit, Boom. That's a whole other animal.
For Souls likes, they do indeed. Dude, they were feeling the shotgun. It was just like a shotgun montage. It doesn't look like probably the coolest part of the game though.
Oh, we got a thing. What did we get? Someone coffee us?
Oh, we got a coffee earlier from the buy guy, and that was why I did the holding hands and you were yapping. But yeah,
My bad. Who's the buy guy?
I think it was Brightside donating on coffee. I don't know. I was a little confused by it, but we were making jokes, so I just let it go.
Thank you, Brightside. Whoever
Brightside?
did that. I don't know. We're giving Brightside credit.
All right. The buy guy donated $5 and said sub money without Amazon's greedy hands in your pocket.
Thank you, buy guy. Yeah, perfect, Gil. Thank you. Yeah, DM me. That's the best way. You're gonna be making an MMO before you realize it. Yep. Don't do that. Oh no, I think I am.
Oh no, I am. Believe me, I am.
Boom, no, don't do it. Boom MMO would actually end all the MMOs.
Boom went from I'm gonna finish my model and find something new to do to I'm making an MMO. Love
What's the Miko thing? Mikoverse?
Mikoverse? Yep, totally.
Are you trying to Mikoverse? No. There's nothing wrong with it, Boom. It's just building an MMO is like
It's the
hundreds
hardest
of
thing you
millions
could
of
make.
dollars. Yeah, it's like it's a lot of money, a lot of time. Most MMOs are like a 5-year plus development cycle with a team of like 200, 300 people. There's a lot of problems to solve, like huge amounts of problems to solve. You know where all the checkboxes are. All right, you're good then. Don't even worry about it. There's no design considerations whatsoever. Making an MMO is the game developer's game development joke. Yes, it is. So
right after making my dream game, of course. But,
yes, making my dream game. It's a realistic MMO with dragons based entirely in science.
Yep.
If you put spaceships in it, you can sell them and make $1 billion. That's true. Yeah. And if you have different like contributor tiers that are in the tens of thousands of dollars, you'll be set.
Somebody over there would put their finger up and they go, Excuse me, we've only made $800 million
Yeah, exactly.
so far.
What are these guys talking
Like,
about?
we'll put out a press release when we hit $1 billion. Don't you worry.
Adder goes, you don't even need to finish it if it's got spaceships. Yup. Real, dude.
I mean, for a time, you didn't even need to start it. But
Yeah. You just show some pictures of some
that game was a
spaceships and
myth
some
for
concept
many
art.
years, it felt like.
Dragons versus spaceships? Actually, dude, you could do that. That would go pretty hard. There's ways to do that. There are no bad ideas, guys. There's just bad execution on ideas. But boom. MMO legitimately is like the hardest thing you can do. There are so many examples of studios that have, you know, some of the best talent in the industry, like 300 people working on an MMO. They did it for like 5 years, came out, broke the studio, everyone lost their jobs, no one had money anymore, it didn't do well. They're just so expensive to make, and the risk is so high.
3 MMOs that exist in perpetuity.
Yep. You're not going to knock them off the top.
Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14. Am I missing any?
No, I was tracking you, Gil. I was just saying that that's actually a good idea. I could make that work. That project is borderline NFT vaporware. Damn, bro. Ashes of Creation went well.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this Crimson? What's this game called that's coming out?
Crimson Desert, right?
Crimson Desert. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Dude, I was looking at it. It looks kind of cool, man.
It looks weird, but cool. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Anybody else got thoughts? I meant to bring this one up.
Boom, we're not going to stop you. We've been down that road. We're only telling
I don't want to stop you, Boom. I want to see you do it. Fucking do it.
Fucking get after it
if you want me to help you. Like,
yeah, you got our help and support. You just might be working on it for like a decade or more, and then when it comes out, no one cares, and then you feel like fuck. But yeah, I think I want to say that's what Code Miko is doing, right? Mikoverse
to me seems like is making VR chat, but
yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
I'm remembering now. Star Atlas, that's the game. Dude, what was Star Atlas? What the fuck? I remember this.
Atlas.
Oh, I'm thinking Cloud Atlas, the true.
Is Star Atlas like the true?
Yeah, dude. Star Citizen
AAA space exploration MMO.
Boo.
Is this a real thing? Is this over already or what?
Early access. It's apparently all built on blockchain. Yikes. Join a real cash economy with real opportunities. 21 million annual GDP. 9.7 million Atlas earned daily. 68 million trade volume. Just
these like really like hyper photorealistic cutscenes or something here, and then you'll see some of the gameplay, and it looks like, you know, somebody's first landscape.
Adder's saying, yeah, it's about exploration with no gameplay.
Yeah, they like these look like a lot of like asset flip type things here, and then like I don't know the landscape that's coming up here in a second.
Sushi's throwing shade. The art is doo-doo.
I agree. It's not, like right here. Look at that.
Boy,
that's not good.
Oh, they got pod racing, dude. I'm in. I'm gonna go spend a bunch of money now.
That new pod racing game that's coming out actually looks sick as hell.
They got a dash ability, pretty dope. Yeah, I was reading that there's hype for the pod racing game. I don't know. I
understand like it's not the hypest thing in the world, but like it does kind of look cool.
Yeah. It's actually a good time watching their videos and stuff. Always good for a laugh. Hell yeah, dude. New pod racing PS5 backdoor. Ayo. Yeah, dude.
Do you understand that reference?
No.
On is it PS4, guys? There's a pod racing game for I think it might be like PS2 or something. Maybe it is PS4, but like there's not that many discs made of it, and of course a lot of people didn't buy it. But It's you need it to jailbreak your PS4.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I figured out
I
like a
remember
backdoor
now.
in it, and it made the copies of the game worth like $300 or something.
Nice. I remember that now. Yeah, it was because they left like debug console on the press disc or something.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Copies of the Star Wars pod racing game are going for big time money on eBay. Yeah, 100%.
Are you talking about the N64 one? Shit, I should see if I own it. I should
No, it's
fucking.
the. Is it?
Oh,
PS4?
you're talking about the disc that we were
Yeah,
just.
it's for this
Yeah.
jailbreak. Yeah, you need that pod racing game.
Gil says the only pod racing I liked was in KOTOR. You didn't like Star Wars Pod Racer? I think that was the N64 one, right?
KOTOR had pod racing in it. I don't remember that.
I don't know. I always watched
The
out
N64
KOTOR.
game was pretty good at the time, I thought.
They included unencrypted PSOS source code. Nice.
There you go.
Clean, dude.
How does shit like how does that get through source? Oh, you guys constantly talk about, or is it
Cert?
Yeah, cert.
Cert.
Sorry. Like how does something like that get through cert? It feels like that'd be the first thing they would check.
Somebody knows somebody, and because it's a Star Wars IP, they were like, "Oh, you're good, brother. Just give me a high five, John. You passed cert." And then it was like, "Oh,
Oh my god,
you did an oopsie." Yeah, people probably got fired over that for sure on both sides.
I don't think it got figured out until pretty recently, though. So, like, I don't know.
And now it's something they check. That's crazy. I mean, I still think about like stories of very big games that failed cert because, you know, someone shipped a image of their butt cheeks because they thought it was funny, as like not even appearing anywhere in the game. It's just in the source code. And you fail cert, and that's like 60 grand to the studio. Oops. They took a working minigame and made it into a whole game. Oh, okay. I have so many cert fail stories. It's always a rowdy time in game dev, no matter how smooth production was. Yup. When we were doing, I want to say it was D2 cert. I sat next to a QA lead that was running the cert process. That dude was fucking losing his mind every day. He did triage, which is you look at all the bugs, and he had like specific bugs for cert. And he's like, we have 48 hours to fix this fucking bug. Otherwise, it's going to cost us 60 grand. Because I guess like you put it in for cert, and it's like going to go. It's just going to go. So you have to do it before you fix all the bugs for cert. I don't know. It's a wacky process. But yeah, this dude was in the office like, you know, I don't even know. He was probably sleeping in the office, but he was there like all day for 2 weeks straight. No, Brightside, it didn't even start with bugs, dude. We have Nintendo to blame for cert because they used to put that seal of quality on games.
Which was really just like pay us to make your cartridges because you have to, because that's the rule. Yeah.
No, they started with like there were back in the day on the NES, there was what we would refer to now as like shovelware, and there were bad games. So they did this marketing partnership with some of their like preferred developers to be like, you're Nintendo certified original product. Because in Asian markets, there would be like counterfeit cartridges and shit like that, or like someone rolled their own and just was like, hey, you can play my game on the Nintendo. And so they didn't like that. And, you know, because Nintendo wasn't getting a cut of any of that. So they were like, this is an official Nintendo product. Here's a seal of quality. And then that turned into cert. And it just became like the other, you know, members of the big three started doing it just because they were like, well, everyone else is doing it. We might as well recoup some costs for the platform, because pretty much every hardware manufacturer that makes a console is losing money on console sales. They don't really make money on them. That might have changed, but that was the way it was, you know, for a long time. Art intern having an affair with the COD art director and got his PS4 lock bypass login via that relationship, and posting at V millions. Then costing at V millions is peak, though. That's crazy. Yeah, the shovelware was a reason, but also Nintendo just didn't like competing with other people on their own platforms. So they were like, these are the games that we have money in, you know, without telling us that. But they just put the little stamp on it. There's a whole, like, you can watch the history of CERT. There's like YouTube videos and shit on it. Look up stuff about the history of the Nintendo Seal of Quality, and that will, I'm sure it's, I'm incorrect on some details, but it's pretty much what I described.
Did you know gaming has multiple videos about this? I remember watching that are, fairly informative. So might be a good place to start.
Hey, Gil, you're always going to be stuck compiling shaders. That's UE dev, dude. Yeah, Brightside, it was way before the shovelware was like so bad. It was more of like Nintendo financials going, we're losing money to these third party and these counterfeiters and all that, so we got to put the stamp on all of our things. It was like a pure marketing thing. It was really weird. They noticed that cartridges with the stamp were doing better too, like just for sales in the market, so they just really leaned into it. And then they started slapping the seal of approval on like everything. She got promoted, and the tech artist that raised the alarm, myself included, got laid off. Bro, you should have kept quiet. You can't let the skeletons out of the closet at her. I'm just kidding. Let them out, man. Oh yeah, Slay the Spire 2 comes out. Sushi, I'm glad you mentioned it. That comes out, I think, same release date as Marathon. And they just updated like store page and shit, saying like, here's release date, here's early access, all that. I think that happened a couple hours ago before stream. UE doesn't load, it crashed? Ooh. That fucking sucks, Gil. But yeah, Tony's right. Might need to delete intermediate and binaries. Back up your project first, though. Try to generate a new solution if you can. Stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, just the usuals.
Turning cog. That's a good pun.
Could also try to like reboot your computer before you do anything too drastic. If it's just like a compiling shaders thing, might just, I don't know, have something stuck in memory or something.
Adder, dude, what the fuck? I scribbled "my bad, dude" in the exit survey paperwork. I didn't mean to call you out, bro. Why you have to get rid of me, dude? It was cool if you just told me to shut up and like bought me some beers. I would have been chill about it. Oh shit. Dude, why are we getting spammed by this like Twitch clips thing for coffee? Did we just get another one? Whoever supported us on coffee, thank you again. I don't know if we have those alerts tied directly to the stream or anything, but
it's supposed to do something on stream. Yeah,
I know, right? I remember we had like, there was like a weird bell time.
There was like a TTS that neither of us heard, but everybody else did that one time.
Yeah, that was funny. And everyone's like, ha ha ha, hilarious. Yeah. TTS. We're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Yeah, it was good times.
That's what Beazle Bug will be for later.
Yes,
like,
Beazle.
Yo, boss, we got a coffee.
Yo, boss, we got a coffee.
Yep.
Coffee. Yeah, who was this? I want to go see. I can't look at it. All right. We're running a little long.
From, like, Infinity Ward to whatever the other one is, like the big COD studios.
Oh, that's so weird, Adder. That is so weird. I would not want to be in that situation and be like, hi, I remember you. Or you just go like, I'm going to pretend I don't know who you are. Yeah, that's probably the better course of action. You just pretend that, and if they ask, you be like, nope, don't remember you. How about we just
studio to primary studio as an art lead, got promoted out of it, making almost double salary. Damn, dude, that's awesome.
Based. You made their life suck because you were a petty 21-year-old. All right, that's fair. That's your prerogative, bro. Oh, did we get?
No, imagine a 21-year-old being your boss.
Dude, I had a 21-year-old as my boss at Bungie. I was 35.
Wow.
It was fucking hard. That person was terrible. They were not a good manager. They had only ever worked in games.
When I was 21, I was like, oh yeah, I could definitely do it. And like looking back, it's like a 21-year-old should not be in that position, probably.
Nope, not at all.
Did a good job, but like, I just don't think you have the experience to do like a really good job as a manager that young.
I mean, he was saying he didn't do a good job because he was a petty 21-year-old.
I'm sure Adder's definition of not doing a good job is still probably better than most people's, but
yeah. Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. I remember being like, why do you think this is like the correct way to go about any of this? This is crazy. Like very micromanagey, just fingers in everyone's business all the time. Very annoying, very like no trust in the creative team. I mean, I was a designer, so we were doing game design and being creative, and it was very like stifling and not good. Kind of reckless that I got promoted to an art lead in hindsight, but we made a lot of money, so it worked out. Won a BAFTA for that project. Hell yeah, dude. That's very cool. Which what'd you get a BAFTA for?
I think this is probably Modern Warfare remake that has some insane shit in it that I know he worked on.
Yeah. You also don't have to share if you don't want to, man. No sweat. You guys want to throw some shade at?
Okay, nice.
Visual effects direction for COD. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Good shit, man. You guys want to throw some shade at Destiny? Destiny 2 fans are frustrated because there's a huge delay for the next Destiny release because it was going to drop like 2 days before Marathon, and now they just delayed it by 3 months. And there's the official statement is that Shadow and Order is undergoing large revisions, and it has nothing to do with Marathon. I'm sure it has nothing to do with Marathon, the new IP, new game that your entire studio's future is resting on. Nothing at all to do with that. Let's see. They're touting some sizable quality of life updates. We're going to provide new details later. They're going to still do bug fixes all the way up to June. But yeah, the new thing is going to be like June. From March to June. Exactly, Adder. Get out of here, turning cog, with your Destiny mentioned yappy cat. All right, you want me to talk about the God of War voice actor, Christopher Judge? He claimed that his next game will be announced this summer, fueling speculation that it could be Santa Monica Studios' next project. Judge, who plays Kratos in the modern God of War titles, was talking to a streamer at Fan Expo in Vancouver. Oh my God, this is like the deepest of deep rumors. This is very silly.
That dude is kind of weird in my opinion. And
dude, he was like a star of Stargate SG-1. Yeah, he's definitely weird.
He made that speech at the Game Awards or something when they won that award. That was very awkward, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was it like a political speech thing?
No, it went on for a really long time, and he was just kind of like rambling about stuff that didn't even really make sense. And like, he was like very emotional about winning, and you know, it was probably very deserved at the time. But like, I just remember it being kind of a weird speech, and him just like, he's done some weird stuff on social media since then. Like, I don't know, speaks for Santa Monica Studios sometimes when I would imagine that they probably would prefer he didn't, stuff like that.
Bright side, is it slowly getting phased out? Is what slowly getting phased out? You talking about Destiny? Did we did we cover the other D2 DLC? I don't think so. There's apparently a new Diablo 2 update, and you can play a warlock. It's warlock, right?
I believe so.
Because they already had Necros. You're talking about Destiny? No, they're not going to phase out Destiny. Destiny is going to continue to generate money until it doesn't, and then they will abruptly shut it off. That's how that's going to go.
I was reminded of a relevant news story here for talking about Diablo 2. If you know who BB No Money is, the musical artist, redid his website to look like the Diablo 2 UI.
Oh,
actually did a pretty good job of it, honestly. And Blizzard sent him a cease and desist.
Of course they did.
And so then he changed his website to just be a blue screen. But he posted the letter from Blizzard legal here. on your website to be in possession of a tremendous amount of unauthorized materials. These works are protected under copyright law.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
and they end it very aggressively. Our legal team will be actively monitoring this matter, and you have no more than 3 business days to respond to this notice. There will be no further warnings. All right.
no, I think Brightside's right. I feel like he did it just for this exact reason because he wanted the attention.
As I was seeing him posting about getting the legal notice and stuff, I was like, man, this could all be kind of fake, but I can't really see Blizzard being happy about it. So maybe he just did it to bait them, expecting them to do it.
I think he did it to bait them, knowing that like a company that big is going to be extremely litigious, getting their attention, hitting the cease and desist, and then being like, I'm a good guy, little artist in this big corporation's trying to fuck with me, because that's very much in vogue right now.
I see a post in the Google results about this. This is Blizzard out here suing BB No Money instead of fixing their servers. Love it.
That's exactly why he did it. That is exactly why he did it.
Response is great. I love it.
I mean, but this is the thing. They're not suing him. They just hit him with a cease and desist saying, like, if you want to keep doing this, we're going to sue the shit out of you. And then if you turn it off, it's done. They're not going to sue you. It's over. They can't sue you. It's a really good corporate troll move. Yeah. I think it'd be hard pressed to hit him with a lawsuit of substance if he doesn't directly reference the IP. I'd tell him to come at you. Dude, I don't want that smoke.
Him or his like marketing people or whoever is in charge of his shit, it does a very good job. So I'm kind of with you guys that this is probably like fairly manufactured, or they're just like really good at rolling with whatever happens with the situation. Like they might have put a lot of money into that website and it gets shut down like the next day. Probably does suck for them, but they're like, all right, well, we can turn this into something positive for us. So let's do it.
Gil says, I have an issue with the new version stuck on stochastic lighting. Any ideas?
What do you mean stuck? Like,
I don't know, bro. Cease and desist crack me up. You usually have 3 months to make moves before they can serve you. You got options to swerve and dodge creative lawsuits like that. Absolutely. IP law, like, I've talked about it a bunch on the stream. IP law is wacky. The winner's usually the one who can afford to spend more money to fuck up the other guy. That's usually how it goes. It always settles out of court. No one wants to go to trial for IP law. It's extremely costly for both sides.
Just going to trial for anything. Yeah. Gonna cost a lot of money.
Especially IP law, because that shit can take years to resolve. I mean, fuck, that was I'm trying to remember, wasn't that the original Destiny leaks? It was an IP law lawsuit against ATV, and then that's where they like published financials that people were like, Destiny cost $500 million to make. Like, that's where all that came from. It was like a public legal disclosure. What's up, Oculus? How you doing, purpley man? Dude, I was saying in chat, I don't know why I'd never seen. Well, I mean, I do know why. I don't really watch Twitch, but it was very cool seeing your overlays, dude. That like black and purple shit is very fucking cool, dude. Man.
100%. Very cool.
My car interior lighting and my PC is all like black and purple, like everything. So I wasn't even just like trying to gas you up. Like, it is my favorite shit. Like when I make my Armored Core custom paint jobs and all that, they're black and purple for sure. Yeah, man of taste. Bro, you're also a man of taste. How's your stuff going, dude? Hide your souls? I mean, do we have them? How do I locate it, and how do I secure it if I do have one? It's I'm almost done with the animation arc for modular characters. Fuck yes, dude. That's awesome, man. I got hit by a C&D from ATV after I posted work I did on COD on my portfolio without the permission. Got a gig before the C&D kicked in, was curious how it'd pay out, left it up, and eventually nothing came of it. The art is still on my website years later. Adder, that's typically how it goes for smaller people. I recall, like, there were Destiny creators who would do custom art based on Destiny characters. They would then sell a t-shirt or a print or something like that, and there was a big row inside the studio of people going like, why the fuck are you punishing these people who are making us look really good and selling their shit? Why would you do that? And it obviously, like, management doesn't like that because they're like, oh my god, the rabble is getting roused, how do we fucking deal with this? I'm pretty sure they just kept hitting people with cease and desist, and a lot of this came to light from Twitter because people at the studio were following people that were content creators that they really liked their work, and then they would, you know, be like, hey, yo, what's this? Why are people fucking me up? And then they'd be like, send an email out to the fucking leadership, and all. It's just crazy, man. I just couldn't believe that people would do that at the studio. Subscription service for your soul. Are you referencing the Dayman musical?
I was just gonna say.
He is, dude. He's referencing the Dayman musical
to get into this boy's hole.
The boy's soul. Why do you keep saying boy's hole? It's not, that's not the line. What do you mean? I just keep saying boy's hole. No, you're doing it again, Frank. God damn it. Okay, Gil is like, do not update.
I responded in Discord.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. I don't know if, you know, this means anything to you. This to me looks like some engine files are fucked up, but I don't know. Like, you know, this file right here is in your engine shaders and has like a compilation issue in it. Like, I wouldn't think that should be happening. So that means that file like maybe didn't get updated. So if you verify, hopefully it'll put the right one in there. And I don't know. That's kind of my thought.
Bright said, don't do puns, man. That's beneath you. You're way funnier without puns. Sign me up. I'm sold. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I mean, don't literally get the fuck out of here. Stay here. We like you. I was just reading. It just seemed like a local issue. Try loading vanilla empty project. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, good luck, Gil. Yo, that's a real good piece of advice. Load a vanilla project when I run into shader comp issues to isolate it. Yep.
Oh yeah, good call.
That's a really good call.
See if you can open a normal project and go from there.
Turning cog, don't say that. Brightside is hilarious. That dude gets me in stitches, man.
100%.
Like he's just existing, being himself, and I'm fucking dying laughing. Like, very funny guy. Brightside, you go to that park lately? Hanging out with the boys? Ooh, I like what Adder's saying. I have a vanilla project on hand that matches my active projects engine version with minimal content and default project settings. It's hugely helpful to have on hand. Boom says, I like when Brightside asks people if their stuff is running. Boom, is your VTuber running? Better go catch it. No, I know it was running. Don't know me. Zoomies. I'm gonna rename the park the Grove in our honor. Bro.
Gil donated $5 and said thank you 3.
Can copy paste broken content from main project to vanilla and see if it's still broken. Dude, that's such good advice. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, one of the crazier things that you can do in Unreal is copy something with Control C, like an asset, anything, and then you can paste it with Control V into like a notepad, and it has this huge text readout. Then you take that and you can put that into another project. As long as those things, you know, share source control. But yeah. Tony likes when that guy goes into Brightside stream and says poop pants. Yeah, anything other than texture references. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, Adder.
But it's donated $5. Thank you so much.
Wait, what? Who?
Was Gil donated $5 on coffee?
Yo, thank you, Gil. Okay, so that was Gil.
No, I think it's a new one.
Just now? How is the coffee popping? Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Got like one coffee in our entire lives. And got
yeah, the only coffee we got was, I think, Anna. No, I think LFQ dropped us a coffee too. No, we also had bees. Okay, so we've gotten 3. We've had 3 coffees, and now we're at 5, 6 maybe. Coffee be popping. Sometimes I put that wall of text into Twitch chat. That's amazing, Boom. That's incredible. What does chat do? Are they like, what is this?
Right side secret codes, you know?
Yeah. Are they like, what is this? We know all your secrets now, Boom. We know how to make shiny, sparkly hair and, you know, galaxy armor. Hell yeah, turning cog. I did that shit into 3D text and engine, so I had a 40-foot wall of text with collision. Dude, that's so good.
Yeah, that is really good.
Oh man, were you like, holy shit, what is this? And it's just like curly brackets.
It feels like one of those things you paste into Unreal accidentally, and it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna sit here until my computer crashes, and then we'll start over.
That's incredible. Oh man, the copy paste feature, like in all seriousness, the way that I found good use for it is when I was working on a team working on Return to Moria. I was like, hey, dude, I can't find this fucking thing. And then, like, dude on Slack just posts this giant paragraph of nonsense. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, you can just copy that and paste into the engine. And I was like, what? And then I did it. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. So that was when I learned about it. It was very fun. I don't even know how long that feature has been in Unreal, but that was sick.
Yeah, there's this website, Blueprint UE here, that if you ever need to like send somebody a blueprint, you can put it in here and they can like see it in the browser and also copy and paste it out of the browser.
Very cool.
You can also go on here too, and I think Brightside was the one that told me about this, but there's like 7,000 pages of people's blueprints, and like sometimes you can go in here and just search like a keyword for something that you want to do, and like I don't know, like when I was doing my Voronoi material thing, I definitely came in here and just like would grab these and just see what they would do, and there's some wild shit in here. Some of these are really cool, so definitely kind of a lesser known resource, I would say.
Dude, Boom has spaghetti up there. That's sick. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can post anything up there, so it's awesome.
Hell yeah, Boom. You can copy paste whole BP graphs dating back to early UE4. That's crazy. I didn't know
crazy that it's worked for that long, and the LLMs are as bad at it as they are.
Yeah, for real.
It seems like they should be able to generate blueprints pretty good because it's all just text under the hood. But nope.
There's other cool stuff they've shown at GDC, like entering formulas and fields. What do you mean, Gil? Like you can copy paste the
blueprints now have like you can make like a code node. So it's just like a blueprint that you write code in. Interesting.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah. Is that like 5.7 shit?
It's newer, but yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm peanut posting. Let's see. I don't know. Are we out of steam? I'm a little out of steam. I'm getting hungry.
Yep. I was just trying to like get my shit to recompile here real quick. And
oh, you're good, brother. Yeah, take your time.
We're gonna get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, you got some more time, chat. You can enter 23423/53. Sorry, 52345 as a value. Like calculations. Ah, interesting. We got copy paste text BP graphs, but not text map files. Thanks, Epic. Exactly, Adder. Text-based assets, is that what you're talking about, Adder? I know you've been yelling about that for a while. Yo, Hyperions live. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. Welcome, Raiders. We are actually towards the end of our stream, so I love having you guys here. But we're gonna wrap up here pretty soon, so it's gonna be probably like another 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna wrap.
Yeah, we can hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, but we can chill with y'all. How y'all doing today? Did you have a good stream, Hyperons? Yeah, thank you, Turning Cog. We definitely got raided, nerd. Brightside with the lulls being like, these boys are gonna be on longer again. Yeah, no, what do you mean? I don't like This is a safe space, bro. Come tell us, tell us on the internet how people were mean to you or how your stream went bad. We'll give you the hug, however we can. Also, how's your survival crafting space game going? I think that's what it is. I'm trying to keep everyone's shit straight. I'm sorry if that was not correct about Hyperons. Was the engine mean to you? Yeah, actually, the engine's been acting up today. That's for sure.
We had to collectively get it in shape for Brightside. So
yeah, and Gil just got fucked up with an update. So had to solve a problem, but not today. Late here. Oh, I see. Yeah. Because you're like, it's like very late for you. So you're like, I gotta go to bed, and I can't solve this. So I'm frustrated. Yeah, I feel that, man. We've all been there. Mocap, what's up, brother?
Yo.
Has the engine ever not acted up?
Right.
I think I'd be concerned if Unreal just worked all the time.
I mean, the Mark Raiders boys look like they got it under pretty good control, but that seems like that took a lot of custom work.
Yep. I mean, those guys have like people working on shit all the time.
They're a special fork of Unreal that they've talked about. So
Unreal game, by the way. Where's Threat Interactive all over our creators?
Oh, I'm sure he's talked about it.
I'm gonna fucking look, dude. I feel like this dude might have just gone quiet. I haven't heard about him for a while.
I still hear about him pretty regularly.
Oh, so he's not chased off yet?
No. If anything, like he just makes like the slop farm of like talk shit about Unreal videos every day now.
Threat Interactive will fix the engine and save us all from his armchair. He must have a banger ass chair then. Gil, oh, that feels bad. At least it starts for you. Who was on Twitter the other day? Oh, me when I was looking at Twitter. Why am I fishing for rage bait this week? It's just banter, bro. Banta. No, I don't like rage bait. That shit ain't good. It's not good for anybody. Okay, so we had Christopher Judge talking stuff about things. Supposedly Splinter Cell's not going to be canceled. They're still going to make it, even though they laid off 40 people. Let's see. Nintendo surprises fans with a Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 10 out today. I was never a Xenoblade guy. Did you guys play Xenoblade? And then let's see. Todd Howard claims the majority of Bethesda is working on Elder Scrolls 6. Don't expect Starfield 2.0 soon. Not that anyone did. Yeah, so Elder Scrolls 6, I guess. Todd Howard's like, no, we're doing good shit, man. Every time I think of Todd Howard, I have to like resist the intrusive thoughts about his height. I just have to. Howard was asked about the Fallout series, despite the game's TV adaptation continuing to do well critically and commercially. New single player entry of the franchise hasn't been released since 2015. It's understandable when these big franchises people want brand new experiences. We're working on stuff. There's a time to announce that. We have irons in the fire, but everyone's working on Elder Scrolls 6. So this potentially suggests we're going to get an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement soon, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, Splinter Cell is a very old IP. It's a really good IP, and they've made some amazing games, and Ubisoft just was like, eh. I mean, it was either Chaos Theory or Pandora Tomorrow that had the asymmetrical multiplayer mode where you played as spies or mercs, and
potentially both of them.
It was very cool. Like
I think
very,
one of the
very
coolest
cool
multiplayer concepts to this day. But
and it was playable for a couple of months, and then they bricked it with an update and left it to die. That's a shame. That was crazy. Adder, as someone who's 5'8", it was refreshing shaking Todd's hand and being taller than somebody for once, bro. Not that anyone wanted it is the real statement there. Yeah, exactly. It just works, plays on loop in my head. Gil says, just for fun, I asked the AI about what to do. It sent me to delete stuff, remove stuff, change to DX11, everything but to press the verify option. Yeah. Yeah. Mocap, how you doing today? Did you come over from Hyperons or are you just hopping in? Were you streaming? Were you doing a thing? Yes, all terrible recommendations for sure. Coded DX11 is wild. I'm okay trying to get video game captures at work. Okay, so you're doing like captures for your job. You're not trying to get captures to work, because I was just thinking like Tony's got a thing over there
better about that shit than I do, but
captures from my job. Gotcha. All right, cool. Probably gonna stream RE2 tonight with the girlfriend. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Boom says hi, Mega Mocap. Sweet. Where are we at, Tony? Did you get your thingy going?
Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Raiders. Sorry to stream and dip. I think it's time for us to go. A quick suggestion.
Wait,
you guys got a couple
anybody?
Yeah, you guys got a couple minutes. We can send people on over. Do you guys have anyone we should raid? I mean, the last people we raided are all in chat, so I'd love to raid one of you guys if you're going live or anything, because you guys are awesome and super supportive, and we love hanging out with you. Hey guys, thanks again for the help. Yeah, of course, Brightside. Yeah, you too, man.
Hey.
I hope you have a great weekend. Boom, when you say doing a multiplayer detour, do you mean one game of Apex Legends? You're very welcome, Gil. Boom is like, I'm making an MMO. Sweet summer child, Boom. If only you'd been there in the mines, you'd know.
Well, there's at least one other dev team that you can probably beat to market if you start now. So.
Oh, shit. Shawnee B? I don't know Shawnee B. Is this sussy?
Shawnee B making Dark Souls, but turn-based. Got a DJ set on. All right. I mean, looks kind of cool.
Brightside, no one has context for that. They're thinking I'm just out there mogging random women at the gym. Oh, man. Okay, Boom says Shawnee B is cool. Okay.
Yeah, let's do Shawnee B. It looks cool.
All right, we'll get it started. Shawnee B. Pikachu is the avatar picture?
Yep.
All right, sweet. All right, we got a minute or so, something like that. But we're chilling.
Appreciate you guys.
Good
See you
dude.
next
Yeah,
week.
thank you guys. Yeah, thank you for the raid, Hyperons. The Raiders, if you're still hanging out, go show Shawnee B some love.
Yep.
Shawnee B is working on some things. Looks like Dark Souls.
Come back to Brightside stream in like an hour and a half and send a poop pants.
Yes, hit him with the poop pants. Drop trees in chat when the raid starts. I'm going to give it a go. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Everyone have a fun and safe weekend. Not too safe, but safe enough. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Later, y'all.
Peace.